Welcome back in, guys. We got the One Piece chapter here with us today. And Par, how do you feel about that cover page? Not cover page, but the Shonen Jump page with Luffy and the cheetah.
Cheetah's known like the super fast or whatever, and it looks like there's a race, like Luffy's racing the cheetah and winning. And like Chopper's like, whoa, that's crazy, and like Usopp's cheering him on. Maybe this is like a representative of like Kizaru a little bit, where it's like Luffy's gonna outpace.
That's what I said.
Yeah, so I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, I saw this too, and I was like, okay, cheetah. I looked up cheetah facts, believe it or not. I did it on stream. I was like, yo, like, I was like, what are the cheetah facts? And then it turns out cheetahs are faster than leopards, and I was like, yo, like, we got Rob Lucci? Nah. We got Kizaru right here.
Yeah, I didn't actually register that until just now. Like, we have a leopard and a, like, I mean, he's not a Zoan. Oh, it'd have been so cool. I want to see like all the cats, you know what I mean? Like a lion, tiger,
I want to see a house
cheetah.
cat.
That too. The thing is, the way it would go is the house cat would be the strongest.
Yeah, it would be the strongest, just like in Bungo.
Yeah. and it's kind of, when you think about like evolution, like technically, like they survived. You know what I mean? House cats, they're apex
thriving.
predators. Yeah, exactly.
I saw a poster the other day saying, "Hey, keep your cats indoors because the bird population's dying here." And I was like, dang, I want to let more cats out, man. Like, you know, I don't like birds. I'm not going to lie. Should have killed Pell Oda. Now I got to let my cats outside. I got to do the job for you. You know what I mean?
Fun fact. I learned this because of Oda. Blank cats, I don't know if it was all or specific, but I'm pretty sure it was all, originate from Egypt. And apparently that's true. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah,
those Egyptians, they love cats, man.
Yeah,
they know what's up. They were ahead of the game. We have them to thank for the domestication of cats. And you know what?
Apparently so.
Egypt, thank you. Mr. Egypt out there, thank you.
All a single cat. It was like the Genghis Khan of cats.
You know, one more thing before we get into the chapter, but I really wish there was like a Mr. Dot each like country. I think that'd be super cool.
A Mr. Dot each country?
Yeah. Like imagine like a Mr. Japan, Mr. America,
like Mr. Universe, like,
and then Miss Universe is like the god of all of them. Like that would be kind of cool, right? Like we had like a little country deity.
We have that though.
Well, just like that's like models and stuff, and like prime ministers and like presidents. I'm talking about like a superhuman being that just resides in each country. I think that could be like a concept for a show or something. We got a color spread here, Par. We got some. Do you like pizza? Actually, I think that's the better question. Do you like pizza?
Yeah. Have
you ever munched down on a pizza like Luffy has?
Never. That's cancelable. Speaking of things to be canceled, if any of your friends grab a pizza like this, call PETA. Like that's just disrespectful. He's like double handing that one. You know, he's like got a fat grip on that pizza. It's like
that's kind of crazy.
War crime. I don't know why it's like so offensive. It's a war crime and it's cultural appropriation somehow. Like
it kind of looks like the pizza's like laying on Luffy's body. Now that I look at it, like it looks like the pizza's just kind of like on his chest and everything too. Yeah, it's like Luffy's the table here.
They're not using plates.
I think it's the angle, but yeah.
Like for whatever reason, they have utensils, right? Like they could be civilized, like Chopper in the back, the actual animal. I just realized that.
Wait,
like Chopper's.
Do you use utensils to eat pizza?
No. But like I'm showing the. Wait, hold on. That's actually crazy that Oda showed Chopper using utensils.
Yeah, because he's a weirdo.
I just kind of accepted that, and then I remembered it's pizza. But like when you look at this, it kind of just looks like soup, kind of like thing. It just looks like food.
It's
you know
fresh,
what I mean?
Man, fresh pizza. So we go into the chapter. We see that Admiral Kizaru has begun his incursion. Get ready, the enemies won't take this line down. And we see random Marines fighting the pacifistas and sea beasts, but it's not really going too well, right? And that is when our saving grace, the Vice Admiral with the chin, comes over and knocks a sea beast out with a singular hit. Pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. I think Oda knows what he was doing when he drew this guy. I think Oda had a good laugh. He said, yo, I'm gonna give this guy too many chins, and I'm gonna make him semi-important. Because there's no way, out of 9 Vice Admirals, he says, yo, give it to Chin City.
I I think his design's a little conflicting.
How so?
I just realized. Well, I mean, Oda just debuted it. I'm assuming because we never saw this. He has a giant mecha arm. Is that a mech like a like a piston
it's like Queen
arm?
and Zephyr combined together. Like this man's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like.
How's it a conflicting design though?
I don't know.
Queen was pretty big and he had a mechanical arm.
Yeah.
Big body, big chinned, you know?
I guess so. You're right. But when did Queen get that arm? Right?
We have no idea.
I guess maybe that's
But this guy doesn't look young though, right? Like he's already balding.
But like maybe it's the same pathway as Queen. Like Queen relied on mech too much and then he became a ball, like a scrotum. And then now this guy is like, you know, the same thing. He relied on his arm too much.
Now he's looking
oh my god,
like
that's
E.T.
And it's his right arm too. So that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool, you know? Like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, the Marines need somebody like him, right? You can't just say, "Oh, we have Queen on the pirate side. We can't have any we can't have any Marines with a mechanical arm."
You know what? I'm gonna be a little bit hypercritical here. I think Oda's getting lazy
with the Chin Man in the arm.
No, not with the Chin Man. This is not on the Vice Admirals. It's why is it that like what Queen and now this Cincinnati guy, but like it was cool when Ahiru just had it. You know, Ahiru just had the mecha arm, but now it's just like all the new groups just have one guy with one arm that's just mechanized. How do we make this group cool? One guy is amputated. Perfect. Let's add an arm. Like, you know what I mean?
I think Shanks needs to join this club too.
Really?
Yeah, Shanks has money.
You don't like
right?
the hockey hand theories that people have, where he just manifests an arm. Oh, like the one where it's like that mistake that Oda drew one time where he had two hands, or like an editor drew or something.
Yeah, there's an editor that drew in Shanks' missing arm, and then people were like asking Oda about it. Then he had to fix it up and talk about it a little bit. He's like, "Hey guys, sometimes you know, we make mistakes over here." Along with that Chin guy, we also see Doll show up a little bit. She comes in, kicks a Mark III Pacifista, pretty much destroys it in a singular blow from the looks of it. Because we get that explosion in the next panel. Pretty insane. We haven't really seen too many people take down a Pacifista with a singular blow. This is kind of like a Boa Hancock feat in a way. Because, you know, back at Marineford, Boa Hancock was just kicking Pacifista down left and right. And it's like, whoa, like she's super strong. And now we have Doll doing it here. And it's like, yo, like these Mark IIIs are supposed to be even stronger than the OG Pacifistas. Like, dang, man. Doll is that girl. I feel like Vice Admiral's kind of got a buff here.
Okay, see, we got to walk it back a little bit. I don't think it exploded on contact because what you said, because they jumped off and there's an explosion, right? But the Pacifistas weren't on the ships; they were on the island, so there's not really like an explosion on the island. It's just showing like they're attacking, and then the other Vice Admirals are like joining in. It would be great. If what you said is true and she one hit and exploded a Pacifista, she might be the strongest character in the verse because we haven't seen that. Like Luffy came back from the time skip and pulled out Gear 2 and slapped one down. Did that one explode on contact?
Yeah.
Did it fizz? Why do I remember it like landed and then it fizzled out and then exploded? Or did it hit the ground, it bounced and then exploded?
So Luffy punched it down. So Luffy went gear second, he punched it, and then it bounced up a little bit, and then it exploded. It had like a delayed explosion.
Sanji and Zoro, their one is the one they did the combo attack. Yeah. Then it was like it fizzled and then it exploded.
It's impressive, you know what?
Actually, and then Mark III, because those are the first gen. This is the third gen. So hey, maybe you're right. Maybe she did one hit. Nah, there's no way. There's no way that like.
But would it be bad if she one hit a Pacifista though?
A little bit. Like
How
you're
so?
telling me Vegapunk's impact. This is.
But these are Vice Admirals, bro. Like think about it. If Kizaru dies here, right? Like, crazy scenario. Kizaru goes down, the man, you know, he's up for retirement. It's like, we got to pick out of one of the Vice Admirals to become the next Admiral now. See, like, you know, they got to be at least decently strong.
This is where the issue is. Because so do the pacifistas. They have to be decently strong. They have to be strong enough where there's no world you can tell me where Vegapunk is this smart and he goes, because of the pacifistas that are there, like the island's defenses are nigh impenetrable, right? Meanwhile, 40 vice admiral rank people can one hit them. Like, there has to be some kind of balancing to that, because then it's like vice admirals, we're not Enies lobby straw hats anymore.
But yeah,
like,
but here's the thing, though. Like, even though, okay, let's say Doll doesn't one hit the pacifista, how many more hits would it take to actually destroy this guy? Because that looked like a pretty hefty blow. Like, imagine, okay, she's done with her first kick. That was her hello. And then she'll kick him with the goodbye in the stomach. And that's like, that's a wrap, dude. And then what are we going to say? Like, oh yeah, Doll can 2-hit pacifistas. Like, it's not really much better, right?
It's not much better or worse. Yeah, I guess you're like, you know.
And then the sea beast, like that sea beast, that hippo is caved in. Like that dude's gone. That hippo is donezo. And that's Cincinnati.
I'm generalizing when I say fodderization, but like once the focus of our series is like at Luffy level, Zoro level, anything beneath them, it's hard to like put it into scope, right? Because obviously this is everything we're seeing right here is beneath where we're focused at. So like we don't even know necessarily like what to quantify this, right? And you know, that makes sense where it's like Kobe's was brought to our purview now because he did like some insane feat where it's like none of these guys are gonna be able to do that, right? But that's the separation of Kobe and like everybody else. But it is interesting because like the Mark IIIs, you know, whether or not they should be like really strong or whatever, you know, they were giving like this is a 3rd gen Kuma clone type of cyborg, Vegapunk tech, so much stuff, and then the Sea Beast too, and then the Vice Admiral is knocking them out. It's interesting, I guess. I just don't know.
Let's think about it like this: if Kizaru never came in and disabled the pacifistas, do you think the 9 Vice Admirals and all of the battleships can take on all the Sea Beasts and all the pacifistas? Because if you were to ask me beforehand, I'd be like, I don't know. But now it's like, dang, if the Vice Admirals are all this strong, I feel like they could.
Yeah, see,
their ships might be scuffed, though. Like, I feel like there's no saving the ships because you can't really, like, defend from underwater unless we got, like, crazy swimmers here. But I feel like the Vice Admirals will come out on top. If they're hitting the pacifista, insane.
What you're saying is kind of like really, really important, right? Because like, yeah, if Kizaru wasn't here, they had a up until they could. If this is the case, they're one hitting pacifistas, they're one hitting a sea beast, then they clear Sentomaru. Right, like they make it there. Healthily even, like, yeah, like ships are gone, like collateral's damage is there, but yeah, like they do make it there, which is kind of wild.
I think the buck stops at the Seraphim. I don't think they can take on a Seraphim.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if it's like, you know, like they got multiple Vice Admirals versus one and they know the secret, then yeah, sure. But I feel like if it was like a raid boss, if Sentomaru was the only person on this island, I feel like they'd win.
You know, actually,
they totally win.
This standpoint does kind of make sense a little bit because to Kizaru, this entire situation was child's play.
Yeah, he didn't even have to deal with this, man. Like, he was just like, you know, I can't ignore Sentomaru, man. This is a good guy.
Like, they are all struggling, right? Kizaru, in like 10 seconds, solved everything.
Yeah,
like he's like, that's how far above Kizaru is, right? It kind of feels like Sword and then Garp, right? Like Sword is out here, they have all these tactics, they have all these things, right? Like, imagine if Garp didn't have to protect anybody there. Garp would handle it similarly. I would imagine. I'm not saying like Kuzan per se, right? Like minus Kuzan, I guess, but like, yeah, he could just mess up everything, right? And that kind of feels like the separation here, where it's like Kizaru is that far above, but that's also like a solid thing for this side of it, I guess. The comparison isn't fully making sense in my head right now, but what I'm saying is kind of like, yeah, the Vice Admirals being there could make sense given how easy it was for Kizaru. It's kind of weird though.
Why is it weird?
Vice Admirals never really carried.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, when we got to the Vice Admirals in, like, 1089, you were kind of laughing at them, and I was like, dude, like, these guys are going to be a little bit powerful. They're not, like, fodder. Because you were like, oh, you know, like, we got 30,000 Marines, and then we go downhill, and then we see the Vice Admirals. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. You see these designs? This ain't fodder.
You know, we talked about this before. Like, it's shonen, everything's gonna get stronger. There's that, right? I think it's like they look strong, impressive, right? But it comes down to the fodderization thing again. Like, we're gonna get like minion type of things where it's the pacifistas are minions, like zombies. If Moria comes back, like minions, and then what happens? It's like we're not gonna sit there and be like, oh my god, like they're just gonna equalize, right? Like if you have 20,000 of this thing and 7,000 of that, it doesn't necessarily matter who's stronger. Oda just put them in so that like, oh, like what are the 20,000 Yeah. And then as far as the Vice Admiral, them being strong, I think the other, like, I caution to say like bad thing, but then this is who like the Revs, like when the Revs show up and then they have like those random like vice captains and
it's like the Grand Fleet captains. Like, honestly, like I don't even know, man. Like, if you were to put the Straw Hat Grand Fleet here, like Cavendish would do pretty well, Bartolomeo would do really well, but like Ideo, I don't. Ooh, you know.
Wait, Ideo's strong.
Abdullah,
what are you talking about?
Blue Gilly then.
Blue Gilly and Ideo were like equal, right? I'm pretty sure they were equal, but Ideo had like explosion fists. Like that was kind of disgusting.
If I were to put Dressrosa Ideo in the same room as Cincinnati, I don't know who's walking out. I'm not gonna lie.
Ideo, come on.
Ideo
could take a sea beast.
He could barely beat one of the Did he even beat an executive? Actually, I think he went down and somebody had to finish it for him.
All right, wait, hold on. Ideo's cool. Hold on.
No, Ideo's cool. I'm just saying, like, you know. Okay. How about this?
His name is Destruction Cannon.
Wait. How about this? Ideo versus Cincinnati. And then Blue Gilly versus Dahl, because, you know, like, they're both punching and then they're both kicking. Who do you think would win?
Ideo versus who? Cincinnati?
Yeah, Ideo versus Cincinnati, and then Blue Gilly versus Dahl.
I mean, all right. Everyone take this into scope. We have one panel. Sai's asking this off of one panel. Dahl wins. I like Dahl. If she's one-hitting, I feel like the Pacifista is way more impressive than the Sea Beast, right? Like, it's not a Sea King.
I'd say it is more impressive.
Yeah, so if that is the case, Dahl... Wait, who is Dahl facing? She's fighting Blue Gilly?
The guy who's with
Dahl
Ideo.
takes it. Yeah, but Cincinnati loses. I think...
How heavy, though? Like extreme diff? Or, like, are you saying, like, low diff? Like, Ideo's just going to clear him?
Let me double... Because
you actually just said they're, like, equal in strength and everything. I was like, all right, cool, you know? You want to say Blue Gilly and Ideo are, like, equal like that?
Let me see, because Ideo fought Dellinger, and Dellinger was fighting fish hybrid.
Dellinger whooped Ideo, though.
Wait, did he whoop him? Who did Dellinger lose to then?
Dellinger lost to I believe it Cavendish? Hakuba.
Oh, Dellinger stomped Blue Gilly and Ideo.
Huh.
Wait, who did Ideo
Dellinger took him on in the 1v2 and he won. Like I don't think Ideo can beat Cincinnati, bro. Like there's no way.
Have a win in the Dressrosa?
Yeah, no. A lot of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet did not get W's. Like it was very mixed. It was very mixed.
That's a little...
That's why I'm saying, man, like...
Wait, but he fought Sai. But it was interrupted, right? What did that look like? Did they... Because Sai is strong.
They just...
Right?
Wait, no. Sai... they didn't even clash. I think Sai beat him, actually.
Sai defeated the Funk brothers. Hideo was then locked in combat with him. The two fought, according to the wiki, the two fought evenly, exchanging blows with each other. The boxer used his exploding prowess while the Chinjao member utilized his Hashoken techniques. But they clashed until they were caught off by Luffy and Don Chinjao.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You're talking about a Sai that did not unlock his Dragon Drill nail yet, because he unlocks that during the Dressrosa fights. So you're talking about like that's like me saying Luffy without all of his gears. You know what I mean?
All right, but is Dellinger fair? Dellinger's cracked, right? Like Dellinger was whooping ass here.
I'm just saying, man. Like it's not looking good for Hideo.
Dellinger beats these guys. I think Dellinger takes.
Dellinger beats the Vice Admirals?
Yeah, he has the water, and he's a fighting fish. He beat Blue Gilly and Hideo in like one fell swoop. That was
on land, so we got to put that fight on. So you put Dellinger in front of Dahl in Cincinnati, and you think Dellinger's winning?
Not Dahl.
You can't exclude him.
Dahl, if Dahl is fighting a pacifist, Cincinnati punched a hippo sea beast. That's not a big deal. Luffy did that in beat a Sea King in chapter 1. Like this is a hippo sea beast.
A hippo sea king. Yeah, I mean, dude, here's the thing.
Sea beast.
But it's modeled after Sea Kings. Here's the thing. It's still impressive. Just because you don't put a pacifist in front of him doesn't mean this is any less impressive, though.
All right, you're not gonna get me to equate a sea beast to a pacifist. A pacifist is way better.
Oh, it is. I'm not saying it isn't. Pacifistas are way better. But I'm just saying we can't just undersell it based on opponents, you know. That's like me looking at Zoro and saying, yeah, Zoro's not that strong because
I said it. I power skilled these guys,
Kaido,
and I said
like Zoro didn't beat Kaido like Luffy did. It's like, well, of course, but here's the thing: it's still nice. It's still cool that he beat King.
Listen, Dahl, and from the very start, Dahl was going to be above the rest of the, like there's going to be a group of them. They're not all going to be the same level. And Cincinnati right now isn't the same level as Dahl. And we knew that was going to happen.
What if we get to the next chapter and then Dahl's like, Cincinnati senpai, please show me how you do Show me how you do that attack.
No, Dahl's risen. Like, she's just like, yo, what do those chins do?
Yeah, no, watch Dahl be like, so Dahl is obviously the youngest vice admiral in the group. Just
Wait, how do we know obviously? That's a little rude.
I'm just looking at the profiles they gave us last chapter. I'm like, some of these dudes looking kind of old, man. So it looks like Dahl is the youngest. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dahl is like, hey guys, you know, it's like, how'd I do? How'd I do on my first day as a vice admiral?
T-Bone's younger. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, T-Bone's younger. Oh god. I'm excited, man. I wanna see what these vice admirals can do. I'm excited for more of them. I don't think they're gonna fight the Straw Hats still. I feel like they're just so far away from that. I feel like we might get like a clash or two, but I just can't see us running smoke with all 9 vice admirals. That's too much.
Okay, so you know, yesterday on stream we didn't contextualize it. Also, I feel like our conversation around the vice admirals was a little bit not the same level of like respecting this kind of thing. So. And I asked a question yesterday, but I'll ask it again. Jinbei versus all the vice admirals, does he beat them
at the same time, like Kaido versus the Scabbards?
Yes.
No.
A
9v1 is crazy, especially when the 9 are decently strong.
Yeah, but how many do you think he can take? Is it 3 or is it 4?
I think Jinbei could take 2 or 3 at the same time. Like, you know, you got like people stabbing Jinbei in the back. Like, you know, like that's crazy.
So Jinbei and Sanji,
I think Jinbei and Sanji together, like, you know, working together can definitely stall out all 9 vice admirals. And that's because they're like working in tandem and they got that teamwork. You know, like they can have each other's back.
Stall is interesting. You don't think they could like beat them?
I think they could beat them, but I still see Egghead as a situation where we're not going to beat everyone here.
Oh, no, that's fair.
Yeah,
but like
that is why I said stall. I feel like that's more reasonable.
Sanji and Jinbei. Sanji and Jinbei is kind of insane.
Yeah, it's a crack combo. I like it. And hey, color spread. Sanji and Jinbei,
yeah, they're cooking.
They're cooking together, man.
Yeah. Were there 9
pizza
pizza slices? Imagine for some reason there were 9 pizza slices. Oh,
yeah, there are 9 pizza slices symbolizing the vice admirals they're about to cook. Yeah, because so with the dome going down, man. When the dome goes down, Zoro is being stalled by Lucci. You know, Kizaru's fighting Luffy. It's up to Sanji and Jinbei to like stave off everybody who's gonna come up there. We're gonna have pacifistas, we're gonna have vice admirals, fodder. So yeah, I do feel like Sanji and Jinbei are gonna be the ones who kind of have to like stall off the vice admiral. Maybe even like throw Robin in there, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the rest fighting pacifistas. I feel like that would be pretty fair to assume.
Yeah. Now I kind of, because the way Oda drew Doll,
yeah,
I'm like, that's kind of like a Sanji type of move,
I don't know if Sanji would want to clash. Like, you know, like it's a woman. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough.
But it just looks like that's like a, you know, like Bon Clay, when Sanji fought Bon Clay, they like mirrored each other's like moves and then like clashed. They had that thing. Like that just looks like Oda just drew Sanji's like anatomy and just put doll overlay on that, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder.
Well, here's a loaded one actually. So, you know, we talked about Sanji Jinbei versus vice admirals, you know. Stall them out, sure. Usopp versus a pacifista. Who do you think would win?
What is he supposed to do? Like the thing is, so like it's a loaded question, but it's also like even in a good timeline for Usopp, as a sniper, it shouldn't be like I'm going to confront you face to face. Like even in a good timeline, Usopp needs a sniper needs the benefit of distance, safety,
how about this?
Time,
just like the
prep.
Shonen Jump page, we have Usopp and Chopper. Chopper not really on like the combat side of things. Chopper's like driving him around. Do you think Usopp could take down a pacifista? Because last we saw Usopp fight somebody, he couldn't even damage page 1.
Chopper and Usopp is a crack combo. Yeah. Because, yeah. If Chopper's his Uber, I could see Usopp cooking something up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because Chopper's really mobile. So, like, Chopper could protect Usopp, I think, from a pacifista.
Okay.
I think Chopper's made it there.
2v1,
I mean, also
2v1, give it to Usopp.
Yeah, and then Usopp dies. Chopper takes it. He's just like, no, not my friend. And then he goes into, not my friendo. And then
Monster Point Chopper could destroy a pacifista.
Yeah. Oh, Monster Point Chopper versus Vice Admirals.
I would give it. I'd say that's pretty even.
Like 1v1.
Yeah, 1v1's pretty even.
1v1. One Monster Point Chopper is one Vice Admiral?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not afraid to say it.
That is interesting.
Because that's like well below like what Yonko Commander and everything. Like I feel like that's like the perfect spot for a Vice Admiral.
Monster Point Chopper didn't take damage from like Queen. But he
didn't beat Queen. And Queen was laughing at him.
But he's also throwing him around. Like, can people take that? Like, Queen's weight
huge.
was enough to...
That's the reason why he could throw him around. Like, Chopper trying to... Like, imagine Chopper trying to grab Doll, right? Like, do you think he's just gonna, like, snatch her up like candy at a, like, you know, little kid's store? Like, I don't know, man.
This is the Bradley Martin.
You know, we gotta think about that agility.
But... The fact that, so Queen's really fast. We can agree to that. I think a lot of people, the Queen is actually really fast. And Chopper was able to handle it. He's huge, yes, but I don't think it's like Chopper's this bumble. Like, I think Chopper's also, especially now that he has control of it, I think he's capable in that form.
So here's
like
a
the
good
moment
one,
he grabs a Vice Admiral, I think it might be like wraps for them,
I don't know, man. How many Vice Admirals do you think Chopper can take then?
I don't know, but what I was gonna say is that it's because I at the Reverie and thing, people were coming at me like, "Yo, I didn't know Par was a chopper hater." I'm not a chopper hater, but the fact that like Sai just said like one Monster Point is one Vice Admiral, and I can't like look back at the series and be like, I can't confidently say no. You know what I mean? Like that's upsetting given how Monster Point was debuted. That Monster Point was insane, right? And it doesn't feel like it's the same way now. I feel like Monster Point should be like 2. If we say Jinbei is 3, Monster Point should be 2. Like, you know what I mean? If not 3.
I don't know. I just feel like Jinbei and Sanji, like, they're just way above Chopper.
Yeah, they are, right? But the like yeah, no, you're right. Like okay, to rescale it, it'd be like if Jinbei's 4, Monster Point should be 2. Like that, I think that's fair. Like a Monster Point is half of Jinbei. Jinbei's just a dude who's a fish, who's strong. You know what I mean? Like Sanji, all that other stuff, right? But like he's going into Monster Point, and Chopper's base really strong. He actually is. Like I forget what it was, but like he oh man, this is all pre-time skip. Like post-time skip, Chopper doesn't have good.
Yeah, post-time skip Chopper doesn't really have like amazing feats. And then Monster Point was kind of like, I want to say it right here. It was the impact of Monster Point's kind of lessened over the years. Like he hasn't gotten a new transformation, man. And even when he brings out Monster Point, like people are just kind of laughing at him. Like Queen was laughing at him. Pero Spero was like just laughing at him too. It was kind of sad to watch. I mean, he did well, right? Like he kind of held up. He protected people, but it's like combat wise, he's not really there anymore. I wish he got a new form, though. If Chopper gets a new form soon, like a Sulong Chopper, oh, yeah, you know?
True. Hey, it's probably coming. But that being said, you know, obviously there's more to the chapter than this. But I am interested because it's like, it's not even like agenda, right? Like your take on the Vice Admirals, right? Like it's somewhere in between, I feel like, of what where we started at least, and but these characters like strength, I feel like it actually, besides it being fodderizing, like they're below our strength threshold, I feel like what's happening at this phase isn't going to be lost, right? Like I think it is going to be meaningful, like whatever happens here. So knowing how strong they are is kind of interesting, but it also, like, you know, because up top it's just Lucci and Kizaru, right? But like, what if the Vice Admirals can make it there? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it is interesting. So we were talking about Sanji, we're talking about Chopper. So they both faced Queen. Queen versus the Vice Admirals. How does that feel to you?
I feel like I think just like the Jinbei one, it'll take like 3. Like, and that's just like One Piece power scaling, you know? Like if an admiral's walking up, like they're gonna have some Vice Admirals behind them. Like, you know, we all say that Admiral's weaker than Yonko's, whatever. So that should put like the Vice Admirals around Yonko commander level 2. And if you want to, you know, play it safe, you could say, oh yeah, they're a little bit lesser. Then yeah, put 2 or 3 Vice Admirals. Yeah, 1 Yonko commander, take him down. And to be fair, and the problem with like power scaling in One Piece is that One Piece isn't meant to be power scaled, to be honest. It's just not built for that, right? And as far as that goes, like we can even say that the Vice Admirals, we haven't seen a Vice Admiral fight to the death or like fight from start to finish, because it's not that kind of story. Like the stories focus on Luffy and his adventure, you know, the people that he fights. We never see what a full fight with Doll looks like, a full fight with Smoker as a Vice Admiral post time skip looks like. Like we kind of just like fast forward and then we see like the end result, or we'll see a clash and that's it.
Take a moment to like ponder, like, how does Oda value these guys, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it seems like Oda's upgrading the value of what it means to be a Vice Admiral, which makes sense. It's just, again, I think it's like what they were associated with the Buster Call. Buster Call's lost feeling so much so that instead of 5 ships, now we have 100, right? That's how much upscaling we needed, right? Whereas the Vice Admirals, it feels like we got that same upscaling, but it's not a number thing. It's like a quality thing. And in order to demonstrate that, I guess it makes sense that Oda just added new Vice Admirals so that you couldn't look, you know, that would make sense, right? Like adding new Vice Admirals so that you couldn't look back in the series and be like, wait, this guy was that strong this entire time, or what were they doing in time skip, right? Or you could just add new Vice Admirals and say, like someone brought it up, like these are Navy HQ Vice Admirals. And I was like, damn, I guess that means
it's a new title. I guess. It's a hidden rank. You don't see it. It's the MMR.
It's not just, you know, your random grand. It's not your West Blue Vice Admiral. It's not like a grand. No, this is a Navy HQ Vice Admiral.
A new world Vice
whatever.
Admiral.
It's fine. It's cool. Yeah, I'm interested now. You know, at the minimum though, I think I am excited. To see like how unique Oda goes with it. You know, like he's demonstrated time and time again. He can come up with things on the fly, and they're really interesting. So hopefully that's the case here, and hopefully it feels good.
Yeah, who knows, man? Maybe if we get Two Piece, it'll be focused around Marines, or maybe just Kobe.
Yeah,
you know, finish up that Kobe journey.
Kobe's how many vice admirals would it take to stop Kizaru's fist?
That's a hard one, because I don't know, man. I don't know. I think in that brief moment of time, I think Kobe like went to vice admiral level.
Wait, but that's implying that you were like one vice admiral could take it.
There were no vice admirals at Hachinosu, huh?
No,
there was only a rear admiral.
Yes,
which was Bruce.
Yes,
who didn't,
and we don't even
anything.
really know his situation. Like he seems like a nepo baby, right? Like a little bit.
I don't know. I think that'd be like a dual attack from like two vice admirals.
Two vice admirals.
Yeah, put like Doll and Cincinnati there, and like I think they could like stop that Avala Pizarro
Stop that fist.
Maybe not with the same attack they use here. Like maybe they upgrade that attack a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
like a named attack.
Yeah, like a named attack, right?
Yeah, like doll chin fusion, ha! You know, something like
Dolls with chins, go!
Yeah,
yeah, and then you see like Barbie pop up or something. Like Ryuo Barbie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy.
Not the Barbie Ken. Cincinnati Mighty morphs into a fucking Ken doll.
Yeah.
His chin flaps fold
That's what I'm
over,
saying,
and
man.
it's like a
power scaling and titles are so strange in One Piece. It's not meant for it. It's not like a JJK where it's like, you know, they try to go like across the board. One Piece is like we just shooting up now. We're just shooting up.
I can see a gag, like, you know, it's like Lao G, you know, like Lao G was kind of like Master Roshi, like, whoa, this is next level, right? Obviously it's like a serious gag kind of thing. That's where like the vice admirals are kind of it's not vice admirals, it's characters below the main Straw Hats, wherever their power is at, right? Anything below, it's like in between gag and serious. I could see Cincinnati being that way, the 7 chin
or
Gates unleashed.
What if he's just a straight inventor? What if he has like more of those like crazy arm upgrades underneath his chin folds? Like he whips it out. Next thing you know, it's like a ray gun. Next thing, it's like a mechanical leg, a jetpack. Maybe he whips it out and it's like the 200-year robot, like another one. He's like, yours is only 200 years old. Here's a 300-year-old one, and then he like whips it out of his chin fold.
Like their storage, it's like Caribou's infinite storage, but it's his chins. That's crazy. When you said like he's an inventor thing, then I imagine the destroyed pacifista, and he scoffs at the technology. He's like, huh,
he laughs at Vegapunk. Yeah, the Cincinnati, like Vegapunk sees this guy and is like, oh, not the guy with the chins.
Yeah, like, and then Cincinnati's just like, I guess he doesn't have enough chins to meet my level. Like
maybe that's where his brain is stored.
No,
he's got like a long brain, just like Vegapunk. Maybe there's like a what is it, like not a Punk Records, but like a Chin Records, like where Cincinnati puts his leftover chins.
You know, Oda would be so out of pocket. Like later on in SBS, he's like, no, he just had a genetic disorder, and we just been sitting here making.
Hey, well, I'll double down. That'll be even funnier. You're telling me he was born like that?
No, guys, that's just how. Like, why are you guys thinking he's just born that way? What the hell?
No, Oda loves this, man. Oda's a little bit of a memester, bro.
Yeah, no, I could see it though. Like someone's like super gung ho in the SBS. They're like, oh my god, is this what the chins mean? And then Oda's just like, no, he just has a genetic disorder.
Come on, guys.
Like,
come on.
I love that Oda. I love that Oda when he slaps back at people.
Yeah, Oda's goofy. Read the SBS's, guys. You'll see the real Oda.
Yeah,
the Oda that writes this series isn't the same Oda as the one behind the scenes. So going on, we got Usopp watching this all go down, and he's shocked. He's like, whoa, they're really going at it. You know, he's scared of these vice admirals. He's seeing Cincinnati, and he's losing his mind. And then Vegapunk gives us a little refresher about the hierarchy, about the pacifista control. And we see the fight between Kizaru and Sentomaru take place. And honestly, man, I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm actually really impressed by Sentomaru. Like, over here, blocking attacks, you know, holding his ground a little bit. it's like, dang, he's that guy, man. I thought he was done last chapter. I thought we wouldn't even see Sentomaru this chapter, to be honest. I thought we'd like pan over, like maybe we see like him in the background sizzling, and then Kizaru goes up to the Labo phase. Turns out that this chapter, it's dedicated to him.
Yeah. You know, it is interesting because like he's fighting Kizaru, and we said it before that like we got the backstory here, but like I think there's a trope in shonen, I think in real life too. It's like if you're friends with somebody, you're able to fight them to a certain extent, even if they're like super strong. And like in all regards, Kizaru should be held as like one of the fastest characters, right? But the nuance that Oda gave was that Sentomaru or Lucci was so fast that Sentomaru couldn't even get his defenses up. And that is really interesting, right? Like we're seeing Sentomaru not go blow for blow, but being able to anticipate, react, and all that stuff. So I guess it's a situation where he just didn't know what Lucci was capable of, and he blitzed him. But now with this context, like you said, it's like it is impressive. I don't know what it was about Sentomaru. I mean, it always felt like Oda made Sentomaru to be like a neutral kind of character, like on Sabaody. It's not like he felt like Luffy. Like he was just Luffy, just like a look in a different font. You know what I mean?
Sumo Luffy.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes back to his like inspiration,
Even has a
Golden
scar.
Boy. Yeah, and just the vibes, right?
And the same haircut too.
We see this fight, I'm kind of like, wait, could Sentomaru like hold his own against like a fair fight against Lucci?
Bring back the Vice Admiral comparison.
No, I wasn't gonna say Vice. I was gonna say Lucci. Like with Lucci, it was one and done. But if he's able to at least like we were talking about how far ahead Kizaru should be. I mean, Kizaru's so formidable that Lucci literally was waiting for him. Like Lucci was just like, man, I don't have a shot in God's green earth until this man comes up here to do this, right? Like we were saying it, we we're like, Lucci could just assassinate Vegapunk right now, right here. Oh, yeah. He's capable of it. But Oda wrote it in that he was waiting for Kizaru. That's how strong Kizaru is. And now we see Sentomaru. What we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like six panels, 8 panel like strips of him like going blows with Kizaru. That's crazy. That is crazy. Like no, like Whitebeard's commanders did not get this respect. You know what I mean?
They really
like,
didn't. The Whitebeard commanders, like they saw Kizaru. Boom. It's like, all right, cool. On to the next one. It's like, dang, man. Sentomaru just, you know, they're good friends. He probably knows the fighting style. He knows what to expect. I bet if Sentomaru were to, like, guess what Kizaru were going to do next, he could already guess it.
Yeah.
I think that's just how it is.
Yeah, and that's where it's confusing, where it's like, so where does he actually rank up with Lucci? Is it one and done like we got shown? Or if Sentomaru were to run it back, a salty run back, right? Would he have multiple panels against Awakened Lucci?
Nah.
That's kind of crazy.
It's also like the intent too, right? Like Lucci was just kind of going in for the kill, knocking him out.
True.
Kizaru wants to like reminisce, you know, think about the flashback. He's like, oh, man, you are so cute. He doesn't want to kill Sentomaru. It's like very different intentions between Kizaru and Rob Lucci.
Here's a what if. I just realized this. What if? And honestly, I would have liked this timeline to a certain extent. I'm not saying it's better, right? What if, like, Lucci kills Sentomaru, right? Like, he's dying. He's dead, right? And Kizaru has this whole thing, right? And he doesn't know that Sentomaru is dying, but so he goes to the center and he just sees, like, Sentomaru's on his last breath. And then, do you think, like, because Sentomaru would be like, Kizaru's like, who did this to you? And then he'd say Lucci. And then would Kizaru, like, take him as an ally? Or is it, like, what would that do?
I don't think it would matter. I think Kizaru would be sad, but it's his job, man. Kizaru is, like, so tied to this job that he'd be like, dang, you should have got out of here or something, you know? Like, it kind of falls back to Sentomaru. It's like, hey, you should have left. You should have sided with us.
I'm just like imagining that timeline, right? Because that would be kind of cool in the sense of Lucci senses Kizaru comes up. He's like, he's here. I can act now. He's my ally. And then Kizaru shows up, but he gets that tidbit of like, you killed my friend. And then like And then like Lucci's just like you see and then you just see like Kizaru's like speed is weight, and then he just slaps his ass across the island. He doesn't kill him, but like he gets one blow in. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just I just can't see it. I think it'd be cool though for sure. Especially since they Cypher Pole CP0, he has like the title and rank. Like I'm sure there's like a lot of fallout and discourse if that were to happen. So, and plus like I said, Kizaru, he just loves his job. You know, he's going as far to kill Sentomaru and Vegapunk. Or maybe not kill, but, like, you know, take him down. Take down Sentomaru and then kill Vegapunk, so.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad this is, like, probably the extent of Sentomaru's flashback, though, right?
Yeah. Why are you sad?
Because I really liked Sentomaru as a kid. Yeah,
he's pretty cute. He's cute kid.
Yeah.
He reminds me of the Samurai from Wano. Because he says, like, hey, I don't get hungry or anything. Yeah. Which, I mean, makes sense, because a lot of people were like, yeah, if Sentomaru's from Wano, that's fair.
Low-key, Sentomaru is like Kozuki. Like, this is like what Momo should have been like. This is
yeah,
Kozuki.
like
this
over
is
here
Odin's
fighting bears and stuff instead of boars.
Yeah. And then I was telling the chat, I was like, you can't tell me that Odin didn't have a kid beforehand. He had a harem war. He had all Wano's, like, an entire region of wives in his shack.
I think Odin pulled out.
I don't think
this is an Odin baby that just straight off to a distant country. Did you see how much Odin liked his kids? Like, there's no way. They look more like Toko.
Toko, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
we didn't get anything on
Toko,
Toko, though. Toko was just adopted, but we weren't necessarily... I wanted her to be Kurozumi, and then, like, she was adopted by Shimotsuki. It'd have been cool, but yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. The hair is there.
The hair is there, man. It fits. Yeah. Just like paint Sentomaru's hair pink, boom, Toko. Kizaru says I taught you the best I could. And does this mean to you that Kizaru probably has some good defense?
Oh.
Because Sentomaru boasts having the world's toughest defense. Do you think Kizaru taught him about that defense, and that maybe Kizaru is like the original title holder of that?
Maybe, you know, there's a world where that's the case, but maybe it's a situation like Rayleigh and Luffy, right? Like, like Rayleigh didn't teach Luffy Gear 4. Luffy just kind of like
he found that.
Yeah, like he took what he had and made the most out of it, right? So in Sentomaru's case, it's probably he started off with the defense thing, and then Kizaru just kind of like helped him make it as formidable as it is. I mean, that makes sense given he's the fastest, should be one of the fastest characters in the series, but then also he has like the line speed is weight, right? So like speed, weight, power, strength, destruction, in all regards, I feel like that, hey, if you're sparring with this guy, I think you could say you have one of the strongest defenses in the world, right? That's a fair take, I think. You couldn't necessarily say that
my
against
guard
like
isn't anything to sneeze at either. It's like, dang, dude.
Yeah.
Defense is crazy.
That's true. That is true though. That line does lend itself to Kizaru being a punching bag of some sort.
Yeah, I wonder what that looks like when you train. Like, you know how like Garp and Aokiji have the battleship bags? Yeah. Imagine Sentomaru and Kizaru have like a machine that just punches them, and they just like stand there and take it. That'd be kind of crazy.
I was thinking a pinball machine because I was just thinking about it like
when they like put themselves in a pinball machine as they're training.
They just slap back and forth because when Kizaru is in his light form, he can only go straight, so he uses mirrors and reflections. And I was thinking like, we don't necessarily know if that's painless. Like, what if that's not painless? Like,
what if Kizaru's in pain while he's using his fruit? Yeah, imagine Kizaru's going up to the Labo phase and he's screaming.
No, like every time he bounces off of a thing, it's not like he just bounces. No, it's like getting slapped into a wall. You know what I mean? Like he has to deal with like a car crash every single time.
Imagine at the beginning of this chapter, they're like, oh, what does it say? Admiral Kizaru's begin his incursion. Imagine the only reason they know that is because they hear him screaming in the background.
No, but the thing is,
guys, Kizaru's here. Whitebeard's like, I know that sound anywhere. It's him.
Because he's light in screams. His screams would get converted into light too, so you wouldn't hear the screams.
Yeah,
it's just silent.
You don't hear the screams Kizaru's
but if
making.
Oda ever gave us the theory. Internal,
we need a big video on that one part. Please cook it up.
I need it's just imagine someone just like giving us Kizaru's perspective of being light, and he just.
That's why he has the glasses on too, just to hide the screams from his eyes, to hide his eyes from all of this.
Like how Kuzan freezes his tears, like he's light because like in light it just converts. You just see it's shining. You know what I mean? You don't hear his screams.
That's why his eyes always have a glint. That's why he wears sunglasses and everything.
I need someone to edit like Kizaru bouncing off the thing and just adding screams along the way. There's a character. I feel like there's a meme that I'm thinking of, and you just put that on the thing. Like when Kizaru does it in Sabaody, you just put it over that. That shit would be funny. Oh my god, I'm crying.
That's the Par Vision, baby. That is the Par Vision. That's why he has the glasses. Actually. He's linked up to the mainframe. Par Vision exclusive.
Oh god. And hey, it all comes through, right? Like cuz when he does, hey, maybe that's why he talks so slowly. Maybe we solved it. It's because he's in pain. He's gathering his thoughts.
Yeah, he's gathering his thoughts, you know. His voice is being worn down from all the screaming. Yeah, no,
technically getting your body converted into light matter that sounds painful.
I mean, not if you're a light person.
Yeah,
to be fair. That's like saying, oh, Aokiji must be frostbitten.
Like what are there's like a series, right? Like if these powers were real. Like
yeah.
Like like the Superman thing. Every time he catches somebody off of like a building and he just goes there, if his arms are made of steel and they just hit them, the people would just get sliced.
Their back just like breaks.
Yeah, it's like the powers in reality.
Powers in reality be kind of crazy. If I was a light man, you guys would be living in a world of darkness.
Like with Enel, like maybe he is screaming. It's just because lightning is really loud, so you can't hear.
Yeah, it's just crackling everywhere. He takes off his bandana and starts biting it. He's like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Logias
Ace's death is painless because there's this fire on fire.
Maybe the awakening is just getting rid of the pain.
Oh shit.
Just a moment of bliss.
I want to talk about the awakenings after this.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about the awakenings. Don't even worry.
Yeah, we do have to, people might be saying like, oh, we're going through the chapter slowly, but let me tell you, when this gets adapted, it'll be slower than us because Kizaru gets the most lines in this chapter, I think, ever. And this dialogue alone is like, you need to put an ellipses after every goddamn word, not just like 3 ... It's like 20 ...
Yeah.
Are you prepared to do your rendition?
We just went through 3 episodes of the One Piece anime in the span of this chapter. It's pretty crazy.
Like I'm looking at these words right now, and I'm having PTSD from Sabaody. That shit was so slow.
I liked it though. I liked it.
It felt good.
Yeah,
but it was just kind of like, it felt fine because it's Kizaru, right? But the Marys on Onigashima, they had the same like steez where they like,
it was awful. I hated the Marys.
Yeah. And I never, like, in the manga, it's like, okay, paragraph done, paragraph. In the anime, it's like, oh my god, I didn't know they were speaking like this. I think this is this is unlistenable. Let me skip it real quick.
Yeah, see, that's the beauty of like binging One Piece, is that whenever you hit something like the Marys or like filler, you just like fast forward like 30 seconds, 2 minutes.
Let me read the dialogue, the subtitles.
Yeah, or you could watch like One Piece at 2 times speed. That's like a power play right there too.
True.
Yeah,
except
get
like
that
recently, In Onigashima, it's a little bit less so, but you could do that with most post-time skip arcs.
Yeah, right? Onigashima, you can actually just skip episodes. You don't have to watch 2x speed.
Yeah.
you can actually just skip like whole halves of episodes.
Yeah, the amount of recaps is kind of crazy.
Yeah, the recap game is on point. You know what? I'm gonna say it right here. People always diss the One Piece anime for having recaps. I'm gonna say it. I think One Piece has the world's toughest recaps.
Hey,
the world's strongest recaps.
My rebuttal is at least in Onigashima. This only applies to Onigashima. Because I think Dressrosa also has recaps, but those aren't the same. In this case, the way they've been doing recaps, technically, it's as if like we have a break week. Like they've been lining up the break week
there, yeah.
Yeah, so like after the last recap was when we had a break week. So chapter 1046, it's like, oh no, there's a recap. But if you remember, we had a break week. So technically, it's like. During that break, what did we do? We went back and read the chapters, anime would be
if they incorporated every single one of Oda's break weeks. We'd be like at episode 2000. Yeah. That would be so cursed.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was like, you know, this
could have been worse, guys. Don't worry.
And then I looked back and I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure a lot of these recaps are falling on when we had break weeks. So it's not the worst. I remember for
Gear 5th, the episode after Gear 5th, which I forgot the number, like 1072 or something. Yeah, 1072. Yeah. In 1072, we had a flashback of 1071's Gear 5th attacks. I said, no way. We see that Kizaru has taken out Sentomaru. He uses a giant beam attack. Still no names for most of Kizaru's attack. It's just beam 1, beam 2, beam 3. He blows up Sentomaru, puts him out of commission, and then he gets the authority chip. The authority chip is kind of cute. I'm not going to lie. It looks like a little keychain.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wonder where Sentomaru had this hidden, right? Like maybe just like pulled that out of his clothing or something.
Because I don't really understand the authority chip.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because like it has like a little thing to where you hook it to your belt or something. I don't know, man. Like, so you just like attach that to yourself and then like there's no speaker or anything, you know, but Kizaru's like kind of talking into it. I got no clue what's going on.
Ball inside of an ice cube, but the ice cube is drawn the same way as like Law's, like the things that he encapsulated hearts in. So like, and then yeah, like I think the most important thing in this thing that was like, wait, what was this thing? It's not like it has a speaker, and the premise of the authority chip that we learned, at least maybe it's just with the Seraphim. I
think it's just with the Seraphim because they're not affected by this.
So like it is interesting, right? Because at the point that Kizaru is doing it, he's lower down. So you could argue that it's so far up that they're not hearing it. But earlier on, we didn't know that the pacifistas had authority chips. That was something that was like, I think this chapter added. Prior, the premise was the Seraphim authority chips, right? But it was also with the Seraphims, I guess, and that's where we have to separate it, is that the Seraphims couldn't be commanded remotely, meaning like through a Denden Mushi, through a speaker. You had to be in person. And that was a good restriction to have, because then otherwise you could have Saturn just get on a loudspeaker and apparently command the Seraphim, which that is why I'm pretty sure Oda wrote that in. But in this situation, you have Kizaru at the center of the island with the pacifistas on the edge, and they hear him, like, and so maybe he's just speaking really loudly, or they just operate weirdly. And hey, maybe that's I think
he just talks into it, because if you in the next panel you see the pacifista and it has like that little like sonar beam going on, so I feel like they received his message just like that through this cube.
Yeah, but like that sonar thing is like Shirahoshi calling the Sea Kings, right? Like she was just screaming loud enough and the voice of all things happened, right?
Yeah, but that's the voice of all things. That's a little bit different.
But what I'm saying is like that's what I'm saying about that sonar. Like it's hard to understand what's happening here, but that's where if you can command the pacifistas remotely, then doesn't Vegapunk supersede that, right? He supersedes Kizaru, right?
Yeah, he probably does.
Yeah, so then if you could do that, he should be able to just command the pacifist, hey, stop that, don't listen to him, you know? Like if that's where I was kind of like, interesting, you know. This is probably a thing we had to just scroll over. A little interesting that Oda wrote, because Oda wrote in a complexity that kind of like made it more difficult for this part to make sense. You know, sometimes complexity it could have just been simpler. But I'm just, like, this authority chip is like super cracked. We're like, for some reason Oda doesn't want to just like outright like show us everything about it, because like we got introduced to them a long time ago, and this is like our first like up close panel looking of it, right?
Yep.
And I don't know what to make of it. I don't even understand what this is supposed to, like, where is that in the pacifistas? Like, is that like is that lodged in their brain?
I think it's lodged
like,
in their brain, yeah.
It's how do and then if this is the case, right? If this is the authority chip and then they have the same thing, then yeah, Kuma can take these out. 100%.
Just like,
right?
Just do that, take it out?
Yeah, right? I don't see why not.
I don't think he can.
Maybe. Oh, maybe not.
Because he when he does that, he does like pain, memories. They're all things that are intangible. I don't think he can just like. I don't think he can like. Boop, there's your heart. You know, boop, there goes your lungs. Boop, kidneys.
No, I imagined real quick. I said that, crazy. And then I was like, oh wait, this thing is tangible.
I really do believe that next chapter, man. All these vice admirals, all the pacifistas, they're gonna be ready to go. They're gonna be waiting for that security dome to come down. Which
wait,
what's up?
He didn't order the authority has been transferred to me. Oh, and send the weaponized sea beast to the ocean floor. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, I thought he was ordering the sea beast to go down to the bottom, like to just.
Oh no, that's TCB's translation. OP scan says destroy all the sea beast weapons.
Yeah, that registered after. I was like, oh,
you're looking at that PCB flare right there. Yeah, you can also see the pacifista shooting the sea beast. So I feel like there's not a lot of room for that one.
No, that's why I was agreeing with you. I was just like, wait, what you just said made way more sense, because then otherwise it's Kizaru's telling the pacifistas, there's been a change of plan. The weaponized sea beasts go down to the seafloor, right?
Imagine they all just swim down and just stay there.
Them? Oh man, that'd be so funny.
That would be kind of strange. Also, I'm surprised that the sea beasts aren't controlled by the same authority chip. Maybe you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but I was like, dang, dude. Like I feel like that's kind of a loss.
This whole authority thing is kind of interesting, how it was like disseminated, because you would imagine if the pacifistas are under the same authority chips as the Seraphim, then wouldn't it make sense maybe a lesser version but to the sea beasts? But then also, wouldn't it make sense to make the sea beasts like locked in, I guess? But I don't know. The authority chip is either going to be a big thing or a small thing, but it's being re-emphasized. Like we got an anime version of a flashback, a recap of these authority chips in the manga, I think twice now. Like we got it introduced the first time from like Lucci, and then Vegapunk did it, and then Vegapunk did it again, I think.
No.
So was it just one time?
It was just one time. It was Stussy and then Vegapunk. This chapter.
This is the weirdest part. Not the weirdest. That's the wrong word.
What's up?
Saturn. Just chilling there.
Oh yeah, Saturn. He's like, yo, like, give me a report on all the damages we've taken in the past few minutes, this instant.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And he's just chilling.
He's he's losing the sea beast weapons, He's a little bit sad. He's pretty sad, like you look around and you're like, man, I could have used these sea beasts to kill some pirates, bring order to this world. And now it's like, dang. Like we just lost them. That's a lot of money, right? Like pacifistas are worth one battleship each at least. Like now these sea beasts, I put them on the same playing field. Like they're probably a battleship each too. Like this is a lot of money just going down the drain.
Yeah, and he's not even the godhead of finance.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. The godhead of finance is just chilling. He didn't want to come here. He didn't want to see with his own eyes. That's my headcanon.
Maybe it's like a corporate thing where it's like Nasujiro is like the strongest one because he's finance, and everyone like shakes like, oh no, he's gonna be upset at me. Not accounting. Accounting's gonna be on my ass, Yeah. Maybe that's the real.
You got to worry about that accounting, man. They send that to like their manager, and then the manager gets onto you. It's a whole thing, really.
Yeah, and when the manager's Emu, who's out here deleting islands because it's close, you gotta be worried a little bit,
And I like what he says, though. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'd rather choose the pacifistas over the sea beasts. Even he values the pacifistas more. They're just more efficient, you know. Like these sea beasts, they can't go on land. You know, they're kind of trapped in the ocean.
Can the pacifistas swim?
I feel like they should be able to swim, but you know, I don't know if Vegapunk waterproofed them yet. I feel like that's like another update that they haven't got. Maybe like the Mark IVs, if there's Mark IVs out there. But then again, they have bubbles. Maybe they can use the bubbles to like, you know, go down into the water, like bubble coating.
Like when you really, because like a pacifista in the water technically is a sea beast. It's a bear in the water and it's swimming. And if pacifistas are stronger, then yeah, they're somewhere there. They're technically sea beasts.
Yeah. Would you be more scared if like you were sailing into the night and then all of a sudden a sea beast pops up? Or would you be more scared if like one of the pacifistas pops up? Like just starts climbing your ship in the middle of the night? Like which one would you be more scared of?
That's a good one. Oh, you know, I think like a person swimming in the dead of night of the ocean is more menacing. Like I would be able to rationalize a sea monster quicker. I think quicker. Yeah, quicker than like a man, like a large man swimming at me. Like is it like multiple? Yeah, multiple.
Yeah,
of them?
let's say 5 pacifistas.
Yeah, like
which one would you rather face? Like you have no knowledge of the powers. Would you rather
pacifista?
Would you rather fight 5 men who swam to your ship in the middle of the night, all looking exactly the same, all built like Kuma, or a giant sea beast? Middle of the night,
like Kuma.
You pick Kuma. I pick Kuma too. Like, you know, obviously I'd get bodied either way, but I feel like Kuma.
Yeah.
I look at Kuma and be like, okay, this is more reasonable for me to fight. Whereas if I see a sea beast, it's like, well, my ship is just gonna sink and I'm dead.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I rationalize it.
Yeah, it's over, right?
Yeah.
But like, you know what? Actually, like the Kuma thing, it wouldn't be as menacing because in night you wouldn't be able to see them coming. But like, let's throw it at it's daytime, so you can see them swimming at you, and they're efficiently swimming, like the best swimmers.
Ooh, how about this?
Like jet streams.
How about this? What about it's daytime, right? But when they get on your ship, nighttime occurs. Like just like the sun. The sun goes down and the moon comes up.
If they're changing the time of
no,
that's
it's because there's something
own.
more menacing about like nighttime, right? Like you don't people generally don't get scared during the day. It's like a nighttime activity. So like maybe here. So it's not like them changing the day by getting on your ship. What about like in this world, night and day times fluctuate so rapidly that it's normal that they start climbing during the day. They swim during the day, but once they like land on your ship 2 minutes later, it's nighttime. And in your head, in this hypothetical world, it's normal.
You know, I'm actually gonna say I just thought about it real quick. You know, I've been on a boat. I've seen someone swimming at me. It's not that scary. I've seen a big dude do it. So like.
He's just Samoan
at that point.
At the end of the day,
it's just a big Samoan guy swimming. It's not that. It'd be kind of messed up to be afraid of that. It's just a dude. It's just a dude.
It would be kind of racist, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
You're like, dang, it's the Samoans. Dad, grab the harpoons. There's 5 of them. Quick.
This is more terrifying than a sea monster.
And then you see Dwayne The Rock Johnson come up and he's like, tooth fairy, tooth fairy, tooth fairy.
Why that movie?
I don't know. It's the one Samoan I could think of.
The one what?
Samoan.
Yeah, I said that movie. He's a Samoan in all the other movies.
He changes races with every movie. Oh, he could be Mr. Worldwide, like Pitbull #2. It all ties back to that color spread, right?
He's only Samoan when he's a tooth fairy, apparently. I was like, what? No,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's a cool actor.
All my answers, sea monster is scary every single time.
Okay, hear about this. What other Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie comes to your head right away? I feel like Tooth Fairy just like it pops.
None of them.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Tooth Fairy then. If you can't pick any of them, then Tooth Fairy.
I haven't seen that many Dwayne The Rock Johnson movies. I can't even think of it.
He's so cool, man. He's another one of those celebrities I kind of want to meet one day.
Huh? Oh, it was a one.
Like, Par, can I have your Make-A-Wish?
I'm not saying he's not cool. One.
Can I have your Make-A-Wish? I want to meet Dwayne. I want to meet Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Par. Use your Make-A-Wish wish.
You came off of like multiple streams and multiple podcasts saying, yeah, I don't really care about celebrities. I don't care about me them. But Dwayne The Rock Johnson is the one.
He's different. He's jacked, Par. Like, I feel like if there was a pacifista of like the modern world, it'd be Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, it's Shaq. Who's Shaq? Shaq is bigger.
Shaq is taller. Shaq is taller, but I think Dwayne is like definitely more muscular though. He doesn't have that mass, but like Shaq. Okay, how about this? How about like one of them
size and mass kind of crazy.
What about like one of them can be a pacifista, the other one can be like a Mark III pacifista, so we can get like the best of both worlds.
Okay, wait. What was the premise of this hypothetical? It's just, or can they be in the live action? Can Shaq and Johnson be pacifists? Yeah, yes.
Imagine Shaq carrying a Bible, just like, where would you like to go? You know, if you could take a vacation, where would you like to go, sir?
Wait, Shaq would actually do that. That's the funny thing. Have you seen his, like, he just is his meme right now is he's just everywhere because he's a DJ, so he's on tour.
Oh, I didn't even know that. No.
Yeah, he's side questing as a DJ right now. Dang. So he's literally in every like he's just in a pool, and then like you just see like just like it's a normal resort, and then this is a towering guy, right? Like it's in the 13-foot thing. Somehow he's still like waist deep there. You know what I mean? Standing.
You know how it is. Shaq isn't human, man. Oh, and then Pitbull. We gotta squeeze Pitbull into live action too.
Why Pitbull?
Mr. Worldwide. He can be V Nasujudo. Oh, he could be Emu, the ruler of the world.
You're not even. This is morning time. Why are you incoherent? I don't even know. Then when you are,
you just got to keep up, man. You know.
Is this the side? No,
yeah, for some dude named Par Vision, you don't really have that vision, right? So
out of everything we said, that's the part.
Yeah, that's where we cut out. So Par was getting a little bit too crazy right there. He said a couple of let's say how do we describe it earlier? We say shortened words. And we're going on now, and we see Sentomaru's been toasted, bro. This guy got toasted over here by Kizaru. And Usopp says, Sentomaru's finished. And yeah, we kind of move on. Vegapunk's crying, super sad situation. And they can't waste the time that Sentomaru bought them. They can't let it go to waste. And now we see good man Kizaru coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And he drops a pretty cool line, man. He's like, man, I wish I could add an old friend to the list of things I should protect. Super wholesome. He not regrets, but he doesn't feel good about doing Sentomaru like that. Luffy senses that Kizaru's going up, and that is when Luffy, I'm assuming, splits from the group, right? He's eating that, I don't even know what that is. He's eating like a samosa?
Who's eating what?
Huh? Luffy's like eating a samosa, right?
What's a samosa?
Samosa? Is that what it's called?
A samosa? I don't know what a samosa is.
It's a family that originated in the United States.
I definitely don't know what a samosa is.
Okay, so Luffy's eating a samosa, and he senses Kizaru. And I'm assuming that's why he breaks away from the group. And then we cut back over to Vegapunk's group. I don't even know where we're going anymore. Okay, so Vegapunk's still trying to crack the code. Usopp's like, hey, hurry up, Luffy, this isn't looking good. And then boom! Rob Lucci comes in for the kill. Stabs Stussy. Stussy goes down. Vegapunk is shocked, reasonably shocked, When you have a trained assassin that came here to kill you, actually try to kill you, it's a little bit jarring, right?
Yeah.
They're all afraid of him. Sanji acting quick, bubbles up Kaku, and then Zoro and Lucci fly off. What do you think about this whole sequence of events? How do you feel about this? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you see it coming? What's up? Give me the Par vision. Hook me up.
I mean, so the Lucci situation is something that we thought should have happened. And then the rationale was he was waiting for Kizaru. So that stuff makes sense. Lucci doing that, it fits his character. Now it contextualizes the whole him leaking the plan. So it's all fitting. It all makes sense. Kaku's role in this is a little interesting because what do they say? It says, seems your friend left you out of the loop, right? So like Kaku, like Lucci didn't even tell Kaku about the thing. Like so now whatever Lucci's doing, he's alone because Kaku is bubbled up in prison. But I guess like Lucci's banking on the fact that like the Straw Hats aren't going to do anything to Kaku, right? Like the most they're going to do is
they're
imprison
too nice.
him. So like Lucci knows that, and whereas Lucci, you know, he's gonna handle this stuff on his own. The Stussy situation, it's like the impact of it, because I read it page by page. I almost wondered if in the official, like in the magazine, does it end with Stussy's like face like drawn with detail, and you kind of like sit on that like, damn, she's looking pretty good, and then it flips over to the jump scare of her like dying, getting stabbed, Shigand, so like, but that being said, like, at least from what we see, which isn't much, like, it doesn't seem like she should be dead. Like, Sentomaru took a whole, like Lucci put his wrist into Sentomaru, right? And Sentomaru is girthier than
let's say he had some protection. You know, he had a +5 on armor.
Yeah, and as men in One Piece are, like even Zoro has a bigger chest than Nami and Robin, so like that is a fact about the strong men in One Piece. Bust size goes hard. So like the Stussy dying thing, I don't think that's what's happening here. Also, it's with Dr. Vegapunk. Like if he can't fix like his first human creation, if this is what that is, then like, I don't know, like they have organs being made here, right? I would imagine she's fine. It's cool that Lucci, like Zoro took Lucci outside, which is interesting because that's where, you know, Kizaru and Luffy are going to be at. But now then you leave like Sanji and Jinbei, and then these two, they're strong, but they're also like, there's no counter to them right now. So like, where do they go? And that's why we were like entertaining, maybe they fight the Vice Admirals, right? So like all of this makes sense. It feels good motion in the ocean for sure. I liked like Lucci felt good here. Zoro is an interesting thing. I don't think it makes sense given the macro view of this, like that they're gonna have like a full-fledged fight. If they were, I feel like it makes sense to not have, like, Zoro shouldn't lose, but also Lucci shouldn't lose. So then you're in the middle of like something happens to disrupt it, which is something that we also had already like discussed and thought about. So, yeah, I mean, all of this is good. This is good stuff right here. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Some good stuff. Man, yeah. I always knew Lucci would betray them. I didn't know it would happen so soon. I feel like I thought he would have waited a little bit longer, but no. Right when Kizaru shows up, he's like, yep, we got this in the bag. Which is kind of insane when you really think about it, because he says, hey, you're all as good as dead now that Kizaru and I are working together. And you're like, okay, yeah, he's talking trash, right? But this isn't a Lucci that doesn't know what the Straw Hats are capable of. You know, coming into Egghead, you know, he was running that smoke. He didn't know about Gear 5th, I'm assuming. So he ran into Gear 5th Luffy. He witnessed Sun God Nika's crazy abilities. And it's like, okay, that same Lucci that witnessed Gear 5th thinks that Kizaru can take him down. And it's like, that's kind of insane. Like, you know, we could say Lucci's just gassing him up, right? Lucci's just talking smack. But imagine if Kaido said this, right? Like, Kaido's like, oh, like, he witnessed Gear 5th Luffy, comes back and is like, oh, now that me and blah, blah, blah are together, you know, you guys can't take us down anymore. It's like, dang. Like, now that he knows what Gear 5th looks like, I feel like it has a little bit more weight to his words, especially, like, Zoro, too. Like, he's seen Zoro fight. He's seen Zoro fight before. He saw him fight just earlier, and he seems confident enough to start this fight right now that him and Kizaru can win this, which is kind of crazy. Like, I think he's like hyping himself up.
Yeah, you know, I would take it with a grain of salt with like how a perspective goes with like power scaling.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, even if you were to take his words, right, we have to it's Sanji and Jinbei, Luffy, Zoro, and whatever else you want to throw into the mix. And the only antagonists right now that we know of that are actively on the other side are Kizaru and Lucci. That still, from what we know, feels imbalanced in favor to the Straw Hats, in my opinion, right? Like Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, that's like I don't know.
They're cleaning
I think
house.
That's yeah.
And then throw Jinbei in there too, and it's like, yeah, that's you know, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, there's not many groups there's not many duos that you can throw in that are like confidently able to stop that. That's delirious almost. Like you have to be a Kaido kind of character to be like, yeah, we could do that, right? Lucci's not that, but I think you're right in the sense of, at the minimum, like Lucci waiting for Kizaru is one thing, right? Because like you said, he witnessed Gear 5, and what Luffy said to him was so like, I think impactful. Like Luffy like confidently said, like, do you like he said, we something along the lines like, we'll work together because like you don't think you could beat me, right? Like you can't even touch something. I forget what he said exactly, but it was along the lines of like,
you won't go after my friends just because you can't beat me, right?
Yeah, and that's like Luffy, like he, I think in that moment he like turned on like a sort of serious face, but like at the end of the day, it's like Luffy clears Lucci, and Lucci knows that, and because of that existence, Lucci did not even he was a house cat to a certain extent. He was so docile that they didn't even cuff him. They didn't even put him in a bubble. He didn't act out. Hell, he let Nami stomp on him. You know what I mean? Like he let the Straw Hats step on him in that time. And I think like if Kizaru's respecting someone's strength to this degree, I think the most sane thing is to just be like, yeah, Kizaru is probably insanely this is Lucci, like. This is like, you know, not to bring it back to like Enies Lobby portrayal thing, but like the vice admirals were like, yo, this is Lucci. You know, Lucci is different. And I think that weight is always going to be there. So for that guy, the prodigy, to be building up Kizaru, I think we have to take it like, yo, Kizaru probably...
He can carry this fight.
Yeah, like he is strong enough, and that's where it's like, you know, we can obviously get to the last panel, right, where it's like the Luffy stuff.
And also, I like that he says Kizaru and I. He puts Kizaru first. Like he respects that, man. He's like, yo, Kizaru, he's gonna carry this fight right here. That's kind of crazy. And I wonder if Kizaru knows about Gear 5th, right? Because Lucci knows about it. Saint Saturn knows about it, and we do know that Lucci has been updating Kizaru about the events here. I would be kind of shocked if Kizaru was surprised by Gear 5th. Maybe like jarred a little bit, right? But maybe Kizaru hits us with a line, is like, oh, this is the Gear 5th I heard about. Yeah, I can take care of this. That would be crazy.
Yeah, because so I came across a line before. I don't know how much Cypher Pole is in the know, because I went back to like when they were given the order to assassinate Luffy. Guernica was like asking, and I forgot that Joseph, he was just like, Guernica was like, you're telling me I have to stop, like intervene in the fight between Kaido and Luffy? And the guy's like, yeah, it's ridiculous, but the thing is, we are trying to stop this rumor, like this rumored situation. If that's like an end stage situation, so we need to, that's why they gave this order. And I wonder if they know what the rumor was, you know what I mean? Because like who knew what it was to a certain extent. So did they fill in some of the Cypher Pole? Like I don't know if they told Lucci, because like, yeah,
I feel like you might as well tell tell all of the high ranking like government agents and admirals, because it's his poster, right? Like Luffy's poster is now Gear 5th. It's like, we gotta ask some questions now. Like what's going on here?
So and then like Cypher Pole's an intelligence agency, so that's like thing. But then you have to recognize like Kizaru was with Saturn like in a room with the man. So like I wouldn't imagine that they're just like silently sitting there like Kizaru, like even his small talk, it's like, so what do you think about this new poster Luffy got? And then Saturn's like, let me tell you about that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't.
Or
it's like literally
it's a hot topic. Imagine like this, right? Because Kizaru and Saturn, they left on this mission to kill Vegapunk before they knew Luffy was here, because they already set off. They already set off to do this mission. So Luffy was like unexpected. So imagine you get the update and they're like, "Hey, Luffy's here," and you turn to Saturn and you're like, "Hey, ain't that some shit?" Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a conversation. It's like, "Hey, ooh, Luffy, I gotta fight this guy now." Okay.
Yeah, and if they were given like the bounty posters from Wano, right?
Yeah.
Like along with the message, and he's like, "This ain't Luffy. He looking different from Sabaody." And then
something's not. Oh, maybe Kizaru's so slow he doesn't pick it up. He's like, "Huh, something's strange. I just don't know what's going on here." Yes, the sunglasses. Yeah.
And you know, so there is a world where Kizaru is debriefed on it, but I think there's also like the way we're building up, like we start off, Luffy lands a hit on Kizaru, right? I think the respect that we build up for Kizaru, now we meaningfully transfer that to Luffy and Kizaru. We're probably going to go into a situation where like Kizaru respects it. It's like, you know, Luffy's like, we're 100 times stronger, and then Kizaru says like it's not like stepping on them in Sabaody. No, Kizaru's just like, we'll see about that. You know what I mean? And then, you know, slowly he gains like a, whoa, what is this? Like, whoa, what's that? And he's probably more capable and competent to vet out a fighter than Lucci was. Like Lucci at the end of the day is assassination, right? He's not even supposed to be built for like a long, like an upfront long standing fight. He's just that guy. But Kizaru is an admiral. This is like battlefields is his thing. And so as far as being confronted with wacky powers, I'm sure Gear 5, yes, it's the wackiest, but there are wacky powers in One Piece, and I'm sure he's dealt with it. We've talked about this in the light of Garp, right? When we talked about like, oh, what if all of the Titanic commanders awaken? And it's like, I'm pretty sure Garp has dealt with awakenings. That's probably not new to him, right? I would say that's probably the same thing with Kizaru, but there's probably going to be like a small period of time. He's the oldest admiral too. Yeah, there's going to be a small period of time where he's just like, what is he doing right now?
He was and then he's going to understand it. Man, he knows what's up. And something to go back on that too, you know, people are saying, oh, like, you know, after Kaido and Big Mom, who's going to be a threat to Luffy? And it's like, you know, thinking back to it, Kizaru was the one who offered to go and fight Kaido and Big Mom. Like, when they allied and they got the news report about what was happening on Wano, Kizaru went up to Akainu and he said, hey, you know, Big Mom and Kaido, do you want me to handle that situation for you? It's like he offered to go. Like, it's not like he was forced to go fight two Yonko out of nowhere. Like, Kizaru wanted to do that. And it's kind of interesting because it's like, yeah, we beat those two people and now we got to go up a level. And it's like Kizaru, in a way, put himself at that level pre-Wano. Like, he already imagined himself beating Kaido and Big Mom. And like you said, he has experience. This guy's like the oldest guy out there. He's definitely fought some people. He was around that era. So it's not like he... I mean, I like to think he wasn't underestimating Kaido and Big Mom. Like, surely he knows like how powerful they are. And he somehow thought that he could handle that situation. Yeah, so it's like, dang, I don't know. Maybe he is there.
We don't get the same vibe as like Green Bull, who's
Green Bull is different. He didn't get the approval from Akainu.
Yeah, like he was being reckless by a normal standard, right? Because it's not like it's not just Luffy there. There's two other captains. There's two other supernovas. Like it's not. There's 5 people plus an entire country. Yeah. Right. And we could, you know, Akainu PTSD of Wano memes aside, it's like that was just like, you know, that was just an interesting decision period, and that's his like personality trait. But Kizaru wasn't ever given like a punching, like being ridiculous, taking on unnecessary risk, right? Like we've seen whenever he's just like, this isn't worth it. The Ben Beckman, the way he was depicted in film Red, it's always like, I don't need to fight here, you know? And we see that in this chapter. He's just like, you guys are all fighting. I can clear this up in 10 seconds, right? He's super strong, but he's also been efficient, like literally every single time. There's been times where he's been so overwhelmingly powerful that he had to hold back. On Sabaody, for example, he could have slap boxed every single person with a move, but the thing was, he couldn't destroy the Sabaody mangroves because those are protected by like the Celestial Dragons, because that's whatever, and like those are the mangroves are protected for a lot of reasons. So when he destroyed one of the groves with a single blast, they yelled at him, and he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta hold back." And that's where this situation is interesting because, you know, I think. Like if I were to put like an expectation, I would feel like not again, this is a situation where Luffy can't lose. Not can't. Can't is a strong word. Luffy can lose, but Luffy, I don't feel like he's going to lose outright power-wise, but I also don't feel like Kizaru loses outright power-wise. And the thing is, there's more in Kizaru's bag, or he has more baggage as to why it's the same baggage almost to Sabaody, where he's coming in here, and I said this in the live reaction, and I commented my full thoughts later on my video, because I realized something later was in Sabaody, Rayleigh and Kizaru, they clash, but it was done really quickly. When the Straw Hats were gone, Rayleigh's still there, Kizaru was still there, Rayleigh's still a criminal, but Kizaru was like, I wasn't ordered to do this, right? And it's also not worth my time. Even Garp is like, it's not worth our time to fight Rayleigh, right? Like
he's not doing anything.
He's old. Out here getting enslaved for fun, like that. We'll stop that. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like he's not doing anything like that, right? But what we just see is, yeah, he's a strong one, right? But at that point too, like Rayleigh is not like putting, like he's protecting the Straw Hats, but it's not like a super personal. It's like a moral thing, sort of. He was like, "Oh, this is the new era." You know what I mean? It wasn't until like the time skip, like he trained Luffy, that he like drew a line in the ground and said, "This is my apprentice." Right? It's like a slight difference. But the reason why I'm saying all that is because there's a lot of parallels that we've talked about, and I think this one is important, where Kizaru isn't here to fight Luffy. On Sabaody, it was his mission was to take out Luffy for punching the Celestial Dragon. Here, Luffy's not even a thing. His mission, he's reiterated 3 times now: protect Punk Records, secure the power plant, save York, kill Vegapunk. Those are the 4 main things. At no point is Luffy in that. So now Luffy is kind of in Rayleigh's position, to the point where if Kizaru doesn't need to fight Luffy, he doesn't care, right? Now it's Luffy is just fighting interference on Kizaru's missions. The moment he sees Vegapunk, laser down. The moment he sees anything part of his mission, that's the priority, right? And the other part of it is that his priority means that he has to protect the island, which means that he can't go all out.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that every time we see an admiral, they're held back by something like that. Because as much as I love the admirals and I want to cope for them, whatever, but it's just the fact that whenever we get an admiral fighting somewhere, it's always like, oh, they can't do this, they can't do that. We got to watch out for these buildings, these civilians. It's like, dang, man, like, when are we gonna see these guys go all out, not care about like anything in the world,
Like their fight, and this is something that's growing in. I don't even know expectation is the right word, but yeah, I guess expectation, because when we learn about Punk Hazard in Fishman Island, it's like, oh, they're strong. Then we see Punk Hazard, it's terraformed. That still doesn't exist to the extent that is. And now that we see Kuzan and how powerful he is without his devil fruit, what the hell had to happen? They're so strong that Oda off-screened them to the point is we can't fathom what happened on the island even now. And they had to fight. In order to fight, they needed to go to an abandoned island, and that abandoned island was in pain. You know what I mean? Like the abandoned island did not come out scot-free. And so if you put that in here, Kizaru was reprimanded for the Sabaody Mangrove. And that wasn't like, it's not like that was a part of his mission. This is a part of his mission. So like, there's a lot of people talking about like, oh, Awaken Kizaru is going to be insane. He's going to show us the Awaken. This is when Oda's going to do it. I don't think so. It doesn't make sense to, because any greater power than base Kizaru is destroying the thing. I don't know what an awakening Logia looks like, but if Punk Hazard is a reference point, he can't do that to Punk Records. Like, yeah, I don't know what that means, but you can't just turn Punk Records into light. I don't know, or make it, I guess if it's awakenings, making it glow. Like, I don't that's not technically is the glint thing.
The
like
glint man.
Yeah, like, so Awakening, in my opinion, is out. Maybe he shows like a little bit of it.
How about this? What if the Awakening isn't an entire domain expansion like we assume? What if it's just like a, so here's the thing, right? Like Luffy's Mythical Zone Awakening has properties of a Paramecia. What if a Logia Awakening has properties of a Zoan, where they actually transform a little bit? Like maybe he gets like a light cloak, light clothing, like an actual light sword that stays there forever, and not like the one that he made. Like, I think that'd be dope. Like, imagine like his face kind of transforms into a light monster. Like, that would be sick.
I think I proposed this. It was with Zone. It was when I was in LA. So we didn't have the thing. So like in that call we were all in, the ethereal monsters, like Logia's awakening to that, and the Gorosei probably having that combination of becoming like
primordial
ethereal
demon.
Yeah, like they're Zoans, but they are made of an element, and in mythology that's a common thing. And we get an instance of that with like
a god of light.
A little. Yeah, and so like someone's Matt man, I forget who said it in my comment
Pat
section.
From Game Theories.
Not Matt Pat. Matthew Leader. He said maybe that's what the cheetah was. Like, the carrying the parallel forward was like, yeah, if that's like a metaphorical Kizaru racing Luffy, and that's like a thing.
Oh yeah, I like
maybe
that.
Cheetah is his like that's, yeah, he awakens into an animal. I don't know if I particularly like that, but at the end of the day,
maybe not like a regular animal. Like, it has to be like a mythological, like special One Piece original animal.
I don't know.
Maybe like the head of a cheetah, the balls of a baboon, like the neck of a giraffe, like
there's also like
the libido of a dolphin,
the yellow monkey. So it's like that's a weird
yellow
thing
monkey.
Too.
Maybe it is a monkey.
So like, but at the end of the day, no one can tell me that like Kaido turning into a dragon. That's destructive. Like
like because he's big. He's big though. Like, but here's the thing: Kizaru, if he were to transform, like if it's like, imagine it's just him, but like maybe 1.5 times the size. I feel like it wouldn't be that crazy. Like it would be destructive, yes, but it would be like pinpoint destruction. Not like Kaido, where Kaido does like his Tatsumaki, and like the wind demolition gusts like start destroying everything around him.
If that's the awakening,
that AoE's too crazy.
Because so like what you proposed is not what most people propose when they're talking about Kizaru's awakening, right? They're talking about it like not an expansive, like a domain expansion, but like as he awakens, it's more destructive. But what you're describing is it's more lethal, and that is a cool direction. I'd like that. That would be really interesting. I would almost question why he wouldn't use that thing. I mean, yeah, it'd be tiring, right? Like Luffy awakens like it's a new fresh piece of underwear. But like if he became more pinpointed, Kizaru could have used that a lot. Hell, all the admirals could have used that, right? So then it would feel a little weird. I think I would lean more towards our natural idea that like none of these fights even feel like they would be extended. There's going to be something that comes in as like not a third party. I don't want to say that just yet, but like something that diffuses, something that cuts this short.
Like maybe Vegapunk has a heart attack.
Sure, something happens where like Luffy's running interference. In my interpretation of the situation, Luffy's fighting Kizaru, but Kizaru's completing a mission. So in that situation, it's like Luffy's only fighting Kizaru while Kizaru's doing the mission, and Kizaru's only fighting Luffy while Luffy's in front of him. If Luffy ever gets distracted, boom, I'm going to Vegapunk. Boom, I'm figuring out where York is. One of the missions, because that's literally what he did to the island, right? Sea Beasts, Pacifistas, nope, let me stop Sentomaru, right? Like quick, done, easy, efficient, right? Maybe Oda brings out the character that Kizaru is having fun with fighting Luffy. That would be an interesting way. I liked my idea that like maybe this Iron Giant is not Iron, the Vega Force is like a hologram, so it's a decoy, but that's just like a fun plot point thing. But something I was thinking about was if, and this is only an attractive idea if you are a person who likes parallels. I know there's some people like not everything has to be a parallel, right? Oda writes in parallels, and he like wrote out that like things repeat. Like he said that, and we know like middle of the series like stretched out, right? But Sabaody in this one, there's a reason why like almost everybody sees the parallels, and in that situation, if we get a like that situation, Kizaru showed up. And it was done in 2 chapters. And it was done in 2 chapters because Rayleigh ran interference. Luffy's running interference. So now you don't get a lopsided fight. Like if it was just Kizaru versus Vegapunk, that would be the same thing as Kizaru and Luffy on Sabaody, right? But like in this situation, who is the Kuma? Who is the Kuma in that one, if there were to be one? And I was thinking about it because I wrote it out in the thing. It just like it was like the moment we hung up, I was like, oh shit, wait, this is kind of a cool idea. It was that if you like think about what Kuma was technically on Kizaru's side, right? Because they're both on the Navy side, Warlord, Vegapunk weapon. They're technically both on the same at Sabaody, right? Kuma is technically a Straw Hat ally, and he's not really familiar with Rayleigh. Like Rayleigh knows of Kuma, Kuma knows of Rayleigh, but they're not like familiar, right? So if you were to parallel that here, you would be looking for somebody who's sort of on the world government Navy side, like on the Gorosei Navy side, right? You would be looking for someone who is sort of familiar with Luffy, knows of Luffy, kind of, right? But the person would have to be a Vegapunk ally. And when I thought about that, there was a few people, but the one that made the most sense, because like you could think like, oh, maybe there's like Saturn could fit that, but that doesn't make sense. So then I was thinking like, wait, like Big News Morgans makes a lot of sense for that. I don't know how he would play Kuma's role, but he does kind of fit. Like he's technically like on world government side. He knows of Luffy, and he literally said like, yo, like Vegapunk is the light of like the world. Like I'm not gonna, this is a situation I like almost need to go to figure out, right? Like he had like a personal endearment for Vegapunk. So maybe Morgans is somehow the person that runs interference. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, no. But I've always been a big fan of that theory. About Big News Morgan's showing up because he has the news balloon. So he could technically, he's technically already at the Labo phase level. Like he just needs that dome to be down, and then he could just like visit the Straw Hats and pick them up and head out of here. And he was eavesdropping in on the conversation too. That makes a lot of sense. So
that's where I'm like, you know, Morgans, we've talked about Dragon, Blackbeard, right? I think you were right on the Blackbeard thing, right? Like when we got the Blackbeard focus, it was on the people escaping the island, and then we haven't seen them at all. It doesn't make sense for them to be inserted into the Saturn stuff. They shouldn't even know about Saturn. So I think that might be figured out with Blackbeard. It might be like a lucrative thing. Hey, Blackbeard could show up and mess things up at the end. That's his MO. Sure. Dragon, we can continue to put eggs in that basket. Him showing up would be cool. Him showing up would be good. But I'm liking the idea that Morgans not only just shows up, but he's the one that plays the pivotal role. Now, it could be Dragon too, but Dragon is a little bit different. But Dragon would fit because Kuma is a revolutionary, right? So Kuma, revolutionary, paralleling that, a revolutionary showing up and then diffusing the situation, right? But you know, it's still one of those things where, hey, everything doesn't need to be parallel, but I think at the minimum, the parallel will at least stop at this situation doesn't lead to a full fight.
I don't know, man. Because here's another parallel. We got the 3 supernovas versus their people, right? And even if
3 supernovas,
yeah, like Kid versus Shanks, and then Law versus Blackbeard, and then right here, if you look at the final panels, it perfectly fits with the Shanks, Kid, Law, Blackbeard one, like the 1-in-1, and they both have their lines. Like that's literally what happened for all of them. So maybe this fight does get taken all the way. And here's the thing. So this is the hard part with the parallels, right? Because like you said, like we don't know what Oda's doing, but all of the Yonkos have won. Blackbeard, Shanks, both Yonkos, both won their fights. Luffy's a Yonko. Is this saying that Luffy's going to beat Kizaru? I don't know. Because on the flip side, 2 of the Supernova, like the super trio rookies, whatever you want to call them, Law, Kid, and Luffy, they lost, man. Like, you know, it's not looking good. And Luffy's in the middle. Like, he's in both categories. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know, man.
Yeah. No, that parallel,
I love it.
I've heard
it's mysterious,
but it also, like you were mentioning, it can be both ways, where it could mean that, yeah, this is a parallel, but the difference is Luffy's a Yonko. Those are just like supernovas.
Yeah, he's a Yonko now. He upgraded.
Yeah. There's a reason why he took down Kaido. He took down Kaido alone. They needed to work together. That's the difference, right? Or you could say the parallel from Sabaody parallels being mentioned. The 3 of them were up front. The 3 of them were equal as far as portrayal to a certain extent. Like they left the auction house. They all escaped, whatever. Escaped, nuance to that.
Par, you froze. No.
And so maybe we are seeing a situation where the 3 of them lose. This could be a situation where Oda wants to make them in the same boat, or take them off the boat and continue to put Luffy above.
Let me make sure it's not me.
Wait, your microphone died. Microphone? I can't hear you. I see your mouth moving when you talked earlier, but...
Par?
Yeah. I can hear
okay, you're back.
Yeah. You lost me too?
Yeah, I lost you. Right when you started talking about parallels, it was like you were okay. Gunzo.
But yeah, so what I was saying was as far as the parallels go, it's like this could be a moment where Oda puts Luffy in the same boat as Law or Kid, or makes the difference, separates them. And the thing is, on Sabaody, he did separate them, right? Kid and Law were the ones who left completely fine. Not left, but they had no issue, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and Luffy,
I'm gonna say it right here, I hate that. I wish we would have saw the supernova perspective, because next thing we see, they're all chilling outside of Marineford. They were like, hey, you know, we're a little bit late to the party. It's like, brother, what happened over there? I'm so upset.
Yeah. So I wish we saw again, that. Like, that's where it's like, it depends on what perspective you want to go with it. Obviously, parallels can be skewed in a lot of ways. And that's what's heavy about this, is that it's not like a one-sided coin. Because then again, if you put that Sabaody thing, those 2 supernovas were fine and Luffy was not. Luffy was in Kid and Law's situation now, back on Sabaody. So is it now Luffy gets to leave scot-free? And that's the interesting part. Is that really the situation against Kizaru? Because then you have to parallel the opponents, right? Because Shanks and Kizaru being in the same boat is one thing, right? Blackbeard, Shanks, and Kizaru all being equated to the same tier. Is that what we're saying, right? Like, you could be saying that Blackbeard definitely had a way different showing than Shanks. I think a lot of people can understand that much, right? But that also lends itself to how the respective crews that they destroyed were destroyed, right? Shanks destroyed, completely off the face of the earth. Blackbeard, not the same extent. So there is a separation in the treatment too. So maybe Kizaru, given the scope of the situation, it's a lot different, right? It's not just Kid being dumb and going up against Shanks and instigating a fight. It's not Law being ambushed by Blackbeard. This is like a full-on siege. So that even that context is different, which is why I'm leaning towards. I think like the. I think I don't think Luffy's going to lose in the same light as Law and Kid.
Oh yeah, he's
I
not
don't
going to
think
get like
that
destroyed.
makes sense. Yeah, I don't think in all the iterations of parallels, whichever ones I choose, like or the ones that make sense to me, like I don't think any of the ones where like Luffy gets decimated makes sense. And people think that he is, and like a loss, again, we say it all the time. Loss doesn't mean like full on loss, right? Like it there's a lot of meaning to what that could be. And hey, here's one thing. This would be crazy. And I just thought about it. And the one thing that is stagnant is all the ships are destroyed.
Like the marine ships?
Kids ship, Law's ship.
What if, wait. Here's a good one. What if Luffy does lose and his ship does get destroyed and they have to hop on the news coup, like the whatever you call Big News Morgans. That's why they go with Morgans. They hop on that ship, and then Morgans takes them to Elbaf, and then they find the Atom Tree, and Frankie cooks up a brand new 1000 Sunny the 2000 Sunny. How would you feel about that?
They have to keep the masthead. They have to keep the masthead.
Yeah. They keep the masthead. They keep the masthead.
Yeah, because it's like the Cloboterman needs to be intact somehow, and I think it's the masthead. So
that would be nuts. Like
that would be a loss.
Getting wood from the actual Atom Tree too. I mean, obviously, it's not like getting Atom Wood from the black market is different from getting Atom Wood at the source. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe like there's a freshness to it, but I think that would make a lot of sense as to why Big News Morgans could save them.
Yeah, wait, the more and more this is sitting in my head,
I like it.
I think the thousands, people are gonna be like,
and then the 1000 Sunny is Frankie's effing bounty poster, so we knew it had to have some importance. And we were thinking about upgrades with Frankie and the 1000 Sunny. What if that's foreshadowing the 1000 Sunny being destroyed?
I think there's stuff here because then you can go back to Sabaody. Sabaody, the only crewmate that was spared was the 1000 Sunny. It's sat there.
Ooh, this is icky. We just made an icky theory, bro. What the hell?
It's a little icky, but it also kind of feels. Oh God!
I feel like a teenager that just found cheese in my closet.
Because then the context of Elbaf changes, because now it's like, now they need to go. It's like for the ship. Oh my God!
This is good.
Wait, and also, what happened last time? The Straw Hats were on a Sky Island. What happened afterwards with their ship?
Their ship broke, brother. Their ship broke.
Shit. Where's the 1000 Sunny right now? Being manhandled by a goddamn robot. That's kind of.
I know some people are saying that Kizaru. So I brought up the notion of like, the 1000 Sunny getting destroyed in my last video. And I know some people were like, oh, but the 1000 Sunny's made out of atom wood. It can't be destroyed. And it's like, nah. Well, yes. By like normal means, the 1000 Sunny won't be destroyed. But if Kizaru were to like actively try to break it, it would be gone. Like that's just how it is. What Big Mom in a hunger pang?
It's not adamantium.
Yeah, it's not like Adam. It's not like sea stone, right? Like Big Mom was in a hunger pang. She was hungry, so she tore off a piece of the ship. Like it's atom wood. It's powerful, but it's not. Like you said, it's not adamantium. You could still break it. Like that shark in the beginning of Egghead Island that was trying to eat the Sunny. I feel like that if that shark clenched its jaws around the 1000 Sunny, it would be game over. Like it's the 1000 Sunny is powerful, but it's powerful in terms of wood.
Yeah,
it's not like a steel ship. And maybe if they take Vegapunk to Elbaf along with Frankie, maybe they can cook up a ship together, and it would resemble an ancient weapon even more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. Wait, no, but okay.
Huge.
After we left Wano, actually, now that I think about it, what was emphasized? The moment they left, like, Wano, like, they fell off. It was how durable the ship was.
Yes.
How ironic that was, like, the focus.
Ship is durable. And I just gotta say right here, there's a good chance that, you know, this might sound blasphemous. If Law and Kid's ship both survive the same fall as 1,000 Sunny, I think they're pretty powerful. And they were destroyed. I mean, you know, just saying. If actually, you know what? The 1,000 Sunny needs to die. I'm on that train now, Par. I got a lot of pushback when I said that.
That's the Par vision. Let's go.
I've been saying this. I just got pushback for it, but now I found a fellow lunatic. It's like I went to the homeless camp and you were sitting over there with your crack pipe, just shaking a little bit, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" And then guess what?
But that's
now we're sharing fentanyl.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm the pusher. You know, like every single time, like my viewers tell me they try to share my theories outside of like my community, and they're like, "Yo, I sounded crazy." I was like, "You just gotta let me you gotta send them my video." You know what I mean? It won't sound as crazy.
You just connected my two theories together, and I love it.
Wait, which one was the second one?
Big News Morgans, and then Big News Morgans. Along with this one, so I was like, I feel just like needed I also that tie.
Connected. No, we also connected your Sunny. Didn't you just make the video, the 1,000 Sunny upgrades?
I made the 1,000 Sunny upgrades, but I also every chapter I do talk about the 1,000 Sunny being destroyed though. I talk about how the ships aren't safe.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is like, well, I mean, damn, I still wish Frankie and Vegapunk upgraded. But if this is the case, right?
They can upgrade that ship, bro. We're gonna have a good ship.
Yeah, like that's the loss that makes so much sense right now. Like that they, like people are like, how does Luffy come out with this loss? And we're like, oh, Vegapunk dies. If the 1,000 Sunny gets destroyed, that's enough.
Yeah, that's a big loss.
Yeah. Like also, like imagine a situation, right? Because the Mary was lost on their terms. The 1,000 Sunny, all the thing, man. Like, could we lose Nami's orange trees?
Yeah, the orange trees are gonna be gone.
Like, I think that's like the most important thing.
Yeah, I was trying to think back to it. Like, the orange trees are the biggest one on the ship that can't be easily moved or changed up. Maybe there's orange trees on Elbaf. Maybe that's where Bellamere got her tangerines. It could be the origins of fruit. You never know, man.
Yeah, like we get a. Well, I think the tangerines were like local. Wasn't her place like called like, I forget what her place was called, but I'm pretty sure they grew shit there. But as far as like, yeah, like maybe they have tangerines there, and then she ends up, happy. I don't know. That's crazy. That's for some reason Nami's tangerine trees is what's holding me back from this.
Yeah, that's like the one thing for me. Maybe Dude, I'm trying to think now. Whoa! Why did we think of it, Par? Vegapunk, he's a scientist. We could have GMO tangerines.
Yeah, but
GMO, Par. He's a scientist. Come on.
Why is the selling point of this the GMO part? I thought you were gonna say like, oh, he cloned her trees or some shit.
I don't know.
Like that. You were like GMOs, baby. Like
I'm a big fan of GMO.
Oranges.
Yeah, impossible oranges. God. Woo.
Oh, jeez.
Never know, man.
The ship getting destroyed is crazy. Morgan's coming, ship destroyed. Man.
Yeah, and then Vivi saves the day. Because Vivi was worried about Luffy, right? So, I mean,
Yeah. Wait, this would be kind of interesting on another front because, like, after Sabaody, it was like Luffy's crew was destroyed. And the crew was destroyed because they were separated, disbanded, right? They weren't together. The ship was there, but what's a pirate crew with no crew? But also, what's a pirate crew with no pirate ship? So, if the pirate ship leaves or it gets destroyed, then you get like a complete flip where the Straw Hats are like lost in a whole different sense, right? Because when they came back from the time skip, where do they centralize around? They centralized around their home, the 1,000 Sunny, and they met up there. But if you destroy their home, that's crazy.
Honestly,
oh man,
I don't like the 1,000 Sunny, man. I'm gonna say it right here. Hot take.
I know you don't.
I don't like any of the ships the Straw Hats have had. I think obviously my own taste isn't gonna collide with the Straw Hats. It's just not really there, my tastes are on a different realm. But in general though, I do think the 1,000 Sunny is really small in comparison to how many like crew members they have. Like they added Jinbei's huge, bro. Frankie got an upgrade. Like the Straw Hats are so big now that literally they couldn't fit Frankie and Robin in the cover or in the color spread. They had to exclude them. The Straw Hat crew is they're too many of them.
They can't fit on a cover page. You're telling me they fit on the same ship?
And then there's the what is it? There's a replica Thousand Sunny in Japan. And let me tell you, man, they have a line because not everybody can hop on that at once. Like, I'm gonna just say it right here. Japan needs another tourist attraction, right? Those people need another tourist attraction. The Prime Minister's probably like, you know, he's rubbing those fingers right now. He's happy. Oda probably told them what's up.
But where do you go from going merry, which it looked like a moon sheep, and we transferred into a lion that was the sun, and for some reason we just added 1,000 to it, and like that, like sun god, you know, like
I feel like they just make another like Sunny.
So it's just like it's not the 1,000 Sunny, it's the 100,000
infinite sun, infinite Sunny. Eternal Sunny. I don't know. But here's the thing too, because
the mother frame.
What's it called? Capone Beige. His ship was destroyed. The Mother Nova or whatever it's called. And then he made a second one that had the exact same name and looked exactly the same. So I feel like, you know, we could do something like that.
Interesting.
And hey, another thing about the ship being destroyed is that you already saw people gunning for it, right? When Rob Lucci and Kaku came up to the Labo phase, the first thing Rob Lucci said was, "Hey, Kaku, destroy that ship." Like, that ship ain't safe, man. Like, these ships are catching strays.
It's the ship.
It's the ship. It's the,
big news.
You like it? We're here. We're there.
Ships. The real parallel wasn't the losses.
The par vision, it's too much. Like, it's like an electrocution chair.
If Big News Morgan's, no, because that fits so well. Big News Morgan's flying ship. There's not many flying ships. It's already set up. You said they
were listening in. Vivi's there.
The flying, like the whole problem that they discussed was like, oh, we need the Vega Force to fly 1 kilometer. Oh, and then 1,000 Sunny can take us another or some shit like that, right?
And we know those planes could just fly. We know those planes never work. Like, these plans never work, man. Like, if I were the Straw Hat Pirates, I would stop thinking. Like, I would plan for the opposite. Which I feel like that's what some of the Straw Hats are doing nowadays. Like, these Straw Hats are just like, they think one way, but I guarantee you Sanji or, you know, Nami, Robin, they're like, but also let's leave that door open. You know, it never works out.
If Kizaru, okay, wait, this is a crazy question.
What's the question? Hit me with it.
I like it because then, like, you can't kill a Straw Hat, right? Like,
you can't kill a Straw Hat. They got that plot armor.
Nobody's out here thinking, like, ever theorizing, like, yes. Besides Usopp, nobody's out here thinking like
Chopper's
an admiral's gonna kill. Yeah, that's not a theory. Like, everybody's
Sanji dies on Egghead Island.
The ship, and if you gave the resume to Kizaru, the Kizaru was the only man to destroy the Straw Hat's ship.
He would go down in history
as a Yonko. That is crazy. Like, even Whitebeard's, like, his ship was fine.
The
right?
Moby
like,
Dick.
The Moby Dick was in the midst of the war, right? And it still came out fine, right? Like some of the other ships got.
The other Moby Dicks got destroyed, but
the baby Mobies.
Yeah, the baby Dicks just were fine, but like the Moby Dick.
We're not saying. I said baby Moby.
Baby Moby. Yeah, the baby Mobies they got destroyed, but the Moby Dick itself just it survived.
Yeah. And so
I don't know where it is now though.
Here's the
Moby Dick. Marco
that is one of those ships. That is one of the. Marco probably doesn't know how to sail a ship. Let's be honest.
Watch it be like Jozu. Jozu or Vista or something. Imagine Vista. He's traveling around the world like Mihawk now.
No, not Rockstar.
Oh, it's the Moby Dick. It's Vista. It's him.
God.
Ishmael.
So here's the crazier question. All right.
Some guy stole it.
Because we've seen Luffy react to like Akainu news. Akainu killed Ace. But if Kizaru takes out the 1,000 Sunny, which one hurts Luffy more?
Definitely
which one's
Ace.
More personal?
What?
Definitely Ace.
Yeah, whoa. Ace compared to a ship?
But like, because
I mean, the 1,000
Ace
Sunny's a
thing...
Nakama, but like Ace is like his brother. He grew up with him. He knew Ace for years and years and years. The 1,000 Sunny's only been in Luffy's life for less than like a year, man.
But the ship is like a defenseless. It's like the, you know, like with the Ace situation, right? Like after the fact, it was like Luffy was too weak. That was his rationale, right? He was too weak. And the thing is also, but he also knows like Ace is plenty strong. That was like a whole premise. Ace is fine. Ace can handle himself. Ace makes his own decisions, right? Like that's a whole separate thing than someone blowing up your ship. You know what I mean? Like, oh, also in Wano, we got pump faked with the 1,000 Sunny being destroyed.
Yeah, we
now
did.
I think about it. We got pump. Oh shit!
And you know what else too? In this arc, I think it was well, when they released Rob Lucci and Kaku, they're like, hey, we can't protect everyone by ourselves. He said something along those lines where, you know, I can't protect everyone out here. So yeah, we need to hurry up and get this over with. Maybe it could be like reiterating that, like Luffy can't protect like he can protect his crew, but like he can't protect that 1,000 Sunny though.
Yeah, there's more to a Yonko than just like strength and things. That's why all the Yonkos hole up in empires to protect their core assets, right? Like, you know, besides technically Shanks, but as far as that goes, it's like, yeah, Kaido was in Wano, Big Mom was there. It's like, it's hard to even get there. They had an entire territory protecting them. Luffy's all gung-ho, sticking out
Buggy
his neck
just got a new
he
ship too.
Chooses. Yeah, well, Buggy's different.
Yeah, Buggy's
right?
different. But Buggy got that Yonko ship now. I think now that we're Yonkos, we need a new ship. We've been sailing with this ship for like 600 chapters, man. Like,
what?
It's time for it. Or actually 700 chapters. We need a new one. 700 chapters is a long time with one ship.
Yeah.
Like, I really think
the next ship has to be good.
Oh,
and then I don't know
if it's... Yeah, it could be fueled by like the Mother Flame too.
Yeah, they take the power plant. Okay, so then, so they get punk record, like Kizaru gets punk records in York. Maybe we split up the things. Maybe they save Vegapunk and they save
punk records.
A power plant.
What if Luffy saves all of that? He saves the power plant and punk records and Vegapunk, and he actually puts punk records on his ship. Like, you know how like Roger had the egg? Imagine Luffy has punk records, but like obviously like a smaller portable version.
Like a new. But a new ship. Yeah, not the new ship. I was like, I thought we were destroying the 1,000.
I don't know how we do. Maybe we use Caribou. I don't know. We have to find Caribou again.
Caribou.
Yeah, we can find Caribou, and Caribou can just like suck it in. Or maybe that's how we get like the tangerines in like the figurehead. Maybe Caribou sucks in part of the ship, and then he can save the tangerines.
Yeah, and the masthead.
Because the ship was the last place we actually saw Caribou, because Brook and Zoro kicked him off. So I can't see Caribou as a guy. I can like maybe exploring, but I feel like he'd still be nearby the ship somewhere. But the ship's moving.
No.
The ship's. Oh wait. What if they kicked Caribou off and he was exploring? He got to the other side of the island just for the 1,000 Sunny to be brought to him again, because that's where they're going.
Maybe. I like the idea, because I have a whole Caribou video, but I put out a short where basically like Caribou has a prerogative, right? He has to he said that he would have issues if he didn't fill up with a month's worth of food. Luffy ate it and he said it needed to be replaced. And so it could be that Caribou saves the food on the thing, because the apparently he just does that.
Yeah.
Like even in the cover story, he stole like the meat pies and stuff like that. But also, yeah, all the important things, like he was just looting the ship. That works. And then it could be a scene as like that would be the way that Luffy's like, oh my God, you're a good guy. And like Caribou didn't mean it. It was like an accidental, like he did a good thing.
Yeah.
And then like Luffy really praises him for it and like appreciates that. Like they think that the ship is gone, and Caribou's just like,
and here's the
then
thing.
Like the masthead, the oranges. Nami would even love Caribou if the oranges were safe.
Let me tell you, man, Caribou 2 for 3. Poseidon, Fluton.
Yep.
What if he does accompany us to Elbaf and he learns about Uranus? 3 for 3. You know what? That's what I'm going with. Caribou saving some of the stuff. following the Straw Hats to one extra island, learning about the third ancient weapon. There we go. I think
this is it.
I think I can, if I were to put my loins down somewhere, I put them down here.
Define loins.
Like money.
Like, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
There's just for the viewers' sake.
Yeah. I put the money down here. I like this theory a lot. We cooked up pretty good stuff.
Yeah. And the thing is, all of this allows for a lot to happen on the thing. Like, because there's destruction, fighting,
sadness, like the loss of Nakama.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And here's the thing. That can happen, and Luffy can still win these fights. Like, Zoro can win his fight, Luffy can win. But, you know, maybe there's a third party out there that destroys the ship, though. You never know. But, and here's another thing, too. They know that they're going to use their ship to fly away. Rob Lucci has been detailing everything. So I went back to the chapter, or last chapter. I said back to the chapter. I went back in time.
I had whiplash when you said I went back to. I was like, how far was this?
I went back in time, guys. I hopped in the DeLorean. You know, I pumped up that reactor. Got some gasoline.
You made it like such a different. Like nobody else could do this shit. You invented a time machine.
Yeah, I visited Japan. Went to my local manga shop. Manga shop, and I picked up some of those yens. And I bought myself a Volume of 1 Post. And let me tell you. So last chapter, when Rob Lucci was in the room and they were talking about their escape plan, Rob Lucci actually has like the ... So he knows they're going to use that 1,000 Sunny, bro. And then we had Kizaru like giving Saint Saturn the plans. Honestly, Kizaru's busy with Luffy. Zoro is busy with Lucci. Maybe this is where Saint Saturn comes in. Maybe he destroys the ship. I don't know how, when, why, but they know that the Straw Hats are going to escape with Vega Force 1 and the 1,000 Sunny. Just get rid of the 1,000 Sunny. Yeah. What can they do? Vega Force 1 can't take him anywhere, right? Vega Force 1 dies outside of Egghead Island. The gravity stops, like Vegapunk says. So you don't have to worry about Vega Force 1 because they're just going to drown. All you have to worry about is a 1,000 Sunny. Once you get rid of that, boom, the Straw Hats are isolated. And then you just enclose them with your 30,000 ships or 30,000 Marines, 9 Vice Admirals, Kizaru, and all of them. It would be crazy. And this would be a long fight, too. Like, Onigashima, what? It was like 5,000 samurai versus 20,000 beast pirates. That still took a full day. That took a full day of fighting. The Marines can literally just ping for backup, and they could just show up the next day. Like, that's why Luffy and the boys never want to fight Marines, because there's just an endless amount of them.
I also just realized because the only part that's missing, right? Because you're right, the ship is the center point. We've talked about how there's a mismatch in what Luffy and Kizaru are essentially fighting for in a lot of ways, but the center point is the ship. Luffy escapes on the ship. Kizaru doesn't want them to escape, so he takes out the ship. So that's just the now the question which we answered here is, why does it make sense? You know, will it happen? What's the probability given the parallels from not just Sabaody but current timeline? That ship being destroyed makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. It's not even parallels at that point. It's like intricate foreshadow from Wano, the previous arc, where he thought that it was destroyed. We were pump faked about that. We land off of Wano. They were like, huh, it's durable. Like, there's so many things. Sky Island parallel. There's a lot to it. And the only thing left would be, like, obviously, we're not going to leave them completely isolated, right? So it's like the Big News Morgans, or is it somebody else? But the other thing that I just, realized was that the role that Kuma played was giving the Straw Hats a scapegoat in a sense, in a way, right? Because he sent them so far that they weren't tracked. So, I was saying like, oh, maybe the Revs show up, right? But like Dragon and Sabo, they can't, like the Revs at the end of the day can't fulfill what the Straw Hats need, right? Because like downtime and all that stuff, like the Revs can't do that. Essentially, they're wanted. They started a war, but Morgans, and it's not even about the Straw Hats, it's Vegapunk, right? Vegapunk's the person that is in the Straw Hats parallel to Sabaody. So Morgans can put out news that Vegapunk died. Like, Morgans has the power to give Vegapunk that scapegoat. So as far as like what Kuma did to Luffy and the Straw Hats, we don't necessarily know what Kizaru's rationale is. We do know that like he wasn't like super surprised seeing him at Marineford, but we also like, you know, we're not essentially like certain about how that all plays out, right? Because as far as the world went, they thought the Straw Hats were gone. So it could be another one of those situations where it's like, you know, the world government, Kizaru and Saturn, they know that like Vegapunk is fine. But on the world side, the person who perpetuates that would be Morgans, and it fulfills that thing too. And that would work. That would work. And then Morgans would be able to like spin the news in the way too. Morgans coming at and being on the Straw Hat side of things would work really well because he's on both sides a little bit.
Back in Whole Cake Island, Morgans did say he was a fan of the Straw Hats.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna happen, dude.
I'm loving it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I
would shake on this.
Yeah.
If we could shake.
Yeah. I can send you like a picture of my hand later.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I'll send a picture of my hand.
I think
we'll trade.
I think we cooked a little bit.
Photoshop
I'm not gonna lie.
it. Wait, is there a what's the the thumbnail has
the
to be
thumbnail's gonna be
two people
with 1,000 sunny petals around your head, and then me as Lucci with like the mustache and like the hat, and I'm gonna have my finger like this.
Okay, wait, Is there like people like their hands like this, and we could put our faces over them? And then,
yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I erase the hand and we just have like the handshake in the middle.
Yeah, and then in the background you just have Big News Morgans like that.
That's too cluttered.
Oh, it's too cluttered.
I gotta put the chapter number somewhere. So. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Chapter number above our hands, and then 1,000 sunny under our hands.
No. Trust. It's gonna come together. It'll come together. Trust. But with that being said, thank you, Par, for showing up here. I think I think this is a productive, almost 3-hour conversation here.
Yeah. We.
I'm gonna cut this down to 1 hour.
We went through so many roller coasters, so if you guys don't hear about it, we at one point were in fear of 5 Samoan men.
No, that's gonna make it in. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is making it into the final cut. Trust.
Yo, the live action casting for the Pacifistas, so the first gen and the Mark III.
How would they do that? I guess they could CGI like multiple like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnsons, right? Just all walking in a row.
Yeah, but the only problem is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson signs on he can't be hit multiple times. That's like part of his likeness, so you know, it sucks,
something like that.
Yeah.
But hey,
so we can get Shaq though. Shaq's dope.
Great chapter. I can't wait till next week. I wish we didn't have a break, man. If you guys like these videos, you're not gonna get one when chapter 1092 comes out, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be out of town for that chapter, unfortunately. And Par, maybe, yeah. If there's another break after 1092, then we will have these. But I'm assuming they're gonna go 1092, 1093, 1094, and just get back to the regular schedule. So
yeah. But also maybe there's a world where you
maybe
call into the thing, because then you don't have to do your setup, but you could just be on the beach.
We'll see. I'll be on the beach.
Beach getting a tan.
Yeah, it was like a pre-planned trip to Hawaii that we made like a year ago. And it's finally here. I was crossing my fingers. I said, please break week. But no, me and my wife are going to Hawaii. Be fun.
Yeah. Have a safe
We will be
trip,
sipping
time.
mojitos on the beach. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. We'll catch you guys later. Peace out.